There is no passion, there is no vision, there is no aggression, there is no fucking mindset in this football club. Nothing is there. What the hell is there in this football?
2 weeks in a row, we have to pull that out. 2 weeks in a row, we have to pull that out, Ari.
Yeah. We were just debating, should we change it back to the old intro or do we just leave it? We're like, we can just leave it. We can just leave it. There's no reason to change it. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to your post-match live for the Seattle Sounders jaunt to Austin, Texas. It did not go well. It is another loss that we're going to be breaking down here tonight. This time, 3-1. Folks, the Crash Out Red Card boys are back. The stream is up on another tab, and I'm hearing my voice twice, so I'm going to have to close that. Noah, what's up, man? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Another L. It's bad. It's dire. It seemed like it wasn't going to be that bad for a minute there, but it got really bad right at the end. We got the presser pulled up. It's about to start in a couple minutes. You've got your takeout food. It looks like we're working with some
We got a little carne asada.
Little carne asada there and some beans and rice. All right. So you got to be on the upswing a little bit.
This right here, Ari, this is the Seattle Sounders. A succulent meal. The Austin FC said, "Yeah, I'll take some of that. Let me take some of that. I'll take a little bit of that. I'll take a little bit of this. And some of that actually. I'll take all of that because that was terrible. That was again terrible, awful, in fact. You thought they would come out there with some heart in their drive, and maybe they did in the first half, but another meltdown, and even making it better, Crash Out Red Card boys are back. Jackson Reagan.
So back.
Let's go.
So back.
Already.
Crash Out Red Card boys. You know, if the squad is going to tailspin, at least bring the Crash Out Red Card boys back. And boy, did they bring it back right at the end. And it's another L coming off the worst L in the history of the club. We were all locked in on pins and needles, waiting to see what the response would be from the team in this game. Noah, I'll be honest, going into this game, I was kind of past even really getting that invested in whether they win or lose. It was more just like go out there and look like you have dignity. That was the admittedly very low bar that I was looking for them to clear tonight. And when they got bammed on 10 minutes into the game, I'm not going to lie, there was a moment right there where I was like, okay, this is chalked. This is going off. Like this has the feeling like it's teetering on the absolute brink. Like the fact that they couldn't make it 10 minutes into the game without getting bammed on again. It felt bad. But you know, I was thinking to myself at that point, all right, you got punched in the mouth again. How are you going to respond this time? Last time you got bammed on 4 more times, including 3 times in 7 minutes at home by your biggest rival. How are you going to respond now? It's 127 degrees in Austin, Texas. It looks very unpleasant elements. You got bammed on again. You needed a good response in this game and you're down 1-0. How are you going to respond? And, to be fair, I thought up until the 85th minute, it was, there was at least dignity there in some capacity. I know I'm grasping at straws right now, but like
Ari, I agree with you. When it was 1-1, I was like, this is not what I want. I'll take it. Dignity. But I'll take it. It's 2 billion degrees. We are literally inside of Satan's asshole right now.
You're at least competing. You're putting up a fight. You scored.
You scored. You competed. You're on a rotated roster. Stu Hawkins looks good. You're getting Paul Rothrock a goal.
85th minute. Just see out the 1-1.
Just chill it out. We'll take the point.
I had all these talking points written out for 1-1 where I was going to be like, not a great result, not the greatest response you could have drawn up, but ordinarily in Major League Soccer, a 1-1 road trip to Austin FC when it's 127 degrees and you're coming off a horrendous loss. So yeah.
Paul Rothrock and Albert Rusnak, that's who they're giving
in the hostage video.
Yep.
Okay, Albert Rusnak. There we go. That's a little bit of a maybe they listened to the show. I don't know, but
maybe they did.
Yeah, where was I at? Oh yeah, like the notion of the 1-1, it would have been better. It would have been a step in the right direction. And then they go and do that at the very end, which is just like
I have to question, Ari, I
Yeah.
have to question Brian Schmetzer on this.
Oh yes,
one.
let's do this. I had these.
I have to question what in the fuck was he thinking? I didn't really criticize Brian that much last match because it really looked like it was on the players.
I'm curious. The hostage video is starting, but we'll pick this.
Oh, here we go.
Hostage video.
All right, guys. Thanks for sitting down. Media, I'm not seeing hands, and I would like to see some so we can get started here promptly, so we can get going here with Paul and Albert. Appreciate your time. Callahan, I'm going to go ahead and kick off with you. And a reminder for others, please go ahead and hit the raise hand function button for us. Callahan, go ahead, please. Callahan, go ahead, please. Might need to unmute yourself.
You hear me?
Yep, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is the fourth straight loss for the team, and second straight game where things started to go off the rails and then immediately spiraled away. What exactly has been going on with these later halves of games and the games getting away from you guys quickly?
Well, your question was that it's the second game in a row where things started well and then right away they spiraled away. Can you just repeat your question?
Oh, sorry. When things started to go off the rails, when things started to go pear-shaped, they would just it's been going off the rails badly recently, and I'm just wondering what's been leading to that from on your end, and what do you think the team needs to change going forward?
Yeah, I mean, last week was a different type of game than today. I think last week we played well for maybe first 10, 15 minutes. I'm not sure what exactly minute we conceded today, the 2-1 goal, but it felt, pretty late in the game. And I would say, I mean, it was a tough game today, but I felt first half, after giving up a goal, we came back. We ended the half strong. I thought we were really good with the ball. Didn't let them create many chances. And then, second half, we dropped a little bit lower. When we won the ball, we couldn't really do what we did first half. We couldn't really connect passes and go forward and push them back and pin them back. But as far as, performance last week, this week, it's nowhere near the same. It just, I mean, like you said, it's 4 games losses in a row. So I think at this point where we are with 4 losses in a row, we may need to shift to more focus on result rather than performance, because I don't really think that any of us give a shit how it's going to happen. We're just going to have to get a win. And if we play ugly for 100 minutes, none of us care. At this moment in time, looking at the next game, which is in a couple of days, we need the result. And I think that's the only way to get out of this hole that we found ourselves at the moment.
All right, next question. We're going to go over to Jada Evans. Jada, you should be good to ask your question. Go ahead, please.
Thanks. I got here a little bit late, but I did hear you, Albert, as far as not feeling that this is the same as the Portland match. You guys were playing well in the first half and seemed to have control of the game, but did see 2 goals late. How can you? It kind of seems like it's the same, though. I mean, how do you guys feel that it's so different, though?
Yeah, I don't agree that it's same. I think they were 2 completely different games. This was a game on the road in the heat. I thought we managed the game, through 75, 80 minutes pretty professionally. And then, there's a couple of mistakes on the second goal that obviously we want back. And then, we're pushing to get a second one. We change formation a little bit. We have guys in some different positions. We're chasing for a goal, and we can see the third. I think Portland collectively, we were not together as a unit. We were, you you could clearly see that. You could feel that in the game as a player. Today, I didn't feel that way. I thought for a good chunk of the game, we took some steps in the right direction from the previous week. But yeah, conceding late like that kills you. I think that's a game where we keep it to 1-1 late, maybe we find a winner. And even 1-1 is a pretty good result. If you can get any types of points on the road and then at home. But I don't totally agree with the first question and the first comment that both games were a landslide.
Okay, like I said, I forgot. I didn't hear that part. But with Jackson, though, did you guys feel as the game was progressing that the attitude toward you guys from Austin, were the tensions getting high there, or was it getting more heated as the game progressed, and then that kind of spilled over to what Jackson, that hard foul and getting sent off?
No, I think, it's a competitive game. Like this, it ain't no friendly, and, we're not expecting them to be nice. I don't think, they're expecting us to be nice. Like, yeah, I mean, I think, going back to Jackson's card, I think once he got the first yellow, he was going to be suspended anyway for the next game. And yeah, I think it's frustration. Listen, everybody's frustrated. It's not, what we expected. We're going to lose 4 games in a row now. So yeah, there is frustration, and that frustration, led to Jackson making the foul again. But then again, they have a clear chance. So I don't blame him one bit for taking the second yellow and essentially the red card. I think, at that point the game was 3-1 with probably 7 minutes left. So yeah, I mean, it is frustration, but no one is mad at Jackson for making that foul and essentially getting sent off. So.
All right, we're going to go to Jeremiah Oshen next. Jeremiah, you should be clear to ask. Go ahead. Jeremiah, go ahead. You might be muted. Okay, Jeremiah, we'll come back to you. We're going to go to Noah.
This meeting is being
You there?
recorded.
Yeah, we're here, Jeremiah. We're going to go to Noah.
Sorry about that.
We'll come back to you. I think you're having issues.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think, like I said, through a large part of the game, we responded well. I thought collectively the mentality was much better. In some of those metrics where I feel like you can measure mentality a little bit in the duels and whatnot. I felt like, I haven't seen the stats on that, but I do feel like it was a more even game in that regard. I thought we were more aggressive tonight. I thought we backed each other up more. We looked more like a collective tonight. Yeah, I think this is a tough stretch for us. And, Albert and I have been in these stretches before together. We as a group have been in some of these holes as a team, and I still feel like each time we found a way out of them year after year, and I still have the confidence that we will again find our way out of this one, and it's it's not going to happen, and it's not going to be, we're not just going to start winning. It's going to happen with baby steps here and baby steps there. I thought we started taking some really good steps tonight, just as far as we played as a team together, and we were more on the same page. But obviously, yeah, it hurts. This one really hurts because I think we put ourselves in a pretty good position to get a good result tonight, and in the last little bit, we let our foot off the gas, and we paid for it.
All right, Jeremiah, let's go back to you if your feed works.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
We can.
Obviously 4
4 losses in a row. I think this is the first time since 2013 that's happened to you guys, way before either of you were on this team. I mean, how do you, though, go about keeping this from snowballing into something even bigger? You obviously have 2 more road games. You have, and then you have another road game in Leagues Cup. You know, it seems like it could spiral pretty badly if you let it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. You're asking the right questions, and I know, you know, no matter what we sit here and are going to say, it's really going to make sense in some ways. I would put, you know, the snowballing effect of the losses. We got 2 more games. MLS, Leagues Cup, 2 different competitions. You know, and we have 2 more games in MLS, and that's the focus right now. They're both games on road. So yeah, it will not be easy, but I feel like right now, with the stretch that we're having, ain't no game is going to be easy. And, you know, little 50-50 balls seem to go against us. Little deflections seem to go against us. And it's, I mean, we've been in those situations before. You feel kind of like, you know, no matter what you do, it's not really good enough. And the only way we get out of this is with a win. And like I said in the first question, it doesn't matter how the win is going to come at this point. So yeah, we're going to have to find a way. And the next game is in 3 days' time, and it's probably a good thing. We don't have to wait a week and then, you know, have this another loss on our mind for a week. But it's a 2-day turnaround, and we play Saturday again, and it's a new opportunity. And, you know, we'll watch film from today. We'll try and learn as a team from the mistakes. Yeah, but nevertheless, you know, it's going to take a win to get us out of this, and then we can probably answer all of your guys' questions with a bit more sense.
Yeah, I'd also like to respond to that. I don't agree with that narrative. I think that's you know, I understand where you're coming from, Jeremiah. I think that's a fearful narrative. Yes, we've lost 4 games in a row. The writing's on the wall there. It doesn't mean we're going to keep losing. And yes, we've struggled in these games, but, you know, I think the way you talk about the future is really important too. And, you know, you guys can talk about that narrative, but that's not going to be our narrative that we talk about in the locker room. And, you know, I think different guys are going to have to step up. This is a moment. You know, I've talked to some of the younger guys who have gotten this playing time this year. This is a moment where they have to step up. This is an opportunity for some of them to come in and make some plays. And we're gonna need those guys right now. And, you know, I think, you know, I encourage you to be surprised and to be open to who's going to step up in these next couple of weeks, because there will be some new people that step up and make some plays for us and help us get out of this moment that we're in.
All right, that's a good place to leave it. I know there's a couple follow-ups, but we're going to let the guys go here so we can get head coach Brian Schmetzer into the media room. Paul, Albert.
There you
I don't know
have
if
it.
you guys could hear my question.
No,
but
so we can't hear what you're saying when you switch the setting. But yeah. I think I was able to gather what you asked. But do you want to tell the people? What you asked and why you asked it.
Yeah. So earlier this week, Paul had talked about how he wanted us to judge the team based on how they responded, not based on their worst performance, but based on how they were able to come out next match. And I wanted to hear from them exactly how they perceived this match as their comeback match. And I agree with Paul, and a lot of what he said is that if you look at the metrics, they played a lot better. They played a lot better. They played together.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but since you mentioned it, I was looking at the underlying performance metrics just to see, not to cope.
Even the eye test, you can tell that they played a lot better.
It was pretty much dead even. Like I consider that, like, it was 3-1, but it was at least it was a competitive game for most of it, and then they melted down at the end. But you know, for whatever it's worth. I think we do have Schmetzer sliding in here, so we can pick up on that. But yeah, let's see what he has to say.
Jeremiah, why don't you go ahead and kick us off, please?
Yeah, Brian, you know, obviously this is a sort of unprecedented area for you. You guys have never had a 4-game losing streak under your time here. What can you do differently than what you did coming into this game, and I guess even coming into the Portland game?
Well, look, I think the outcome of the game certainly doesn't bear this out, but we went over a lot of details after the Portland game about different solutions, helping the players, stuff that was in our control. The challenge is, Jeremiah, that look, players don't perform, and it starts to fall on me. So I know in the past I've said a bunch of things, but I think the coaching staff did a good job of, preparing the game plan. I thought we were in the game until the end. We need to step up and make more plays offensively because, look, we can talk about the 3 goals, which I'm sure somebody's going to ask me about. But against that particular team, we need to be a little bit more goal dangerous to get us out of the slump. But, I think I can say this. Whatever the outcome of the game and preparation and all that, the guys didn't quit. They were fighting till the end. So that's still there.
All right, we'll go next to Noah. Go ahead and ask your question, Noah. I think you did in the queue, but no worries. Jada, go ahead and ask yours, please.
Thanks. Brian, you made 2 changes that early on seemed to work as far as putting Stewart and Peter in. Can you talk a little bit, I guess, about that? And then, the goals, yes, they were late goals, and it seems like you've had those kind of issues before where closing out it has been a problem in the past. But, there were kind of 2 halves there.
Peter did a good job. He went down, got the assist, and was dangerous on the goal. Did his defending. I mean, look, in the first half, he got somebody played the ball inside of him, which shouldn't happen. But I think overall Peter was good. Stewart, look, the 3rd goal. Christian Ramirez, okay, big kid inside the box. Maybe Stewie could have muscled him a little bit more, but Stewart was okay. And he's going to need to be okay because, Jackson's 2 yellows and, lack of, suitable, guys there. We're under it at center back position.
All right, next question will go to Nico Moreno. Nico M., go ahead, please.
Thank you. Brian, look, after a couple of results like the ones that you guys have had, big decisions have to be made. And I was wondering if, in your opinion, this sort of results point more towards the depth or your top players having to do more. Is it leadership? What is it that you maybe see and assess after these last 2 games?
I think it's all of it, Nico. I think the big players, look, Albert had a motivated performance tonight, but, he didn't score. Normally in games like this, you need your big guys to step up. That ball in the second half when it was still 1-1, Jesus plays them a ball and their goalkeeper makes a great save. Well, that's Jesus Ferreira and Albert. Those are our 2, best attacking players. And the ball maybe been a little bobbly. Normally I've seen Albert score those. We just have to make those plays. The young guys that come on, and, we talked about Peter and Stewart, but, Snyder's got to find his way back again. I think he's playing with a little bit of lack of, I want to say this, he's a confident kid, but maybe he's just not, because the team's in a bad way, trying some of the things that I know he's capable of. You've got Paul Rothrock, who's, I think, still our leading scorer. He needs to produce. He needs to get something. We need our set pieces to be a little bit better. And then you talk about the experienced guys. That second goal, look, a draw would have been, a point. But, you know, the ball goes out to the touchline, and Paul Arriola, you know, he can either clear the ball all the way up the field, or he can just knock it against the opponent and we get a throw in and we kill a game. It's the 88th minute. So I need everybody to do a little bit more. It's not, there's no class. I'm not putting any added pressure on the senior guys that isn't unreasonable to their status in the group. And I'm trying to, you know, make sure I don't come on too hard to the, you know, younger guys who need a little bit more seasoning and maybe a little bit more, you know, coaching and arm around their shoulder.
Okay, Felipe Makeda, we're going to come to you next. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Coach Brian. It's a tough moment. How to keep the guys up so they don't start mentally going down, and this could develop another bad momentum for the team. And then my second question is, looks like the game developed more on the left side of the field. Was that a part of your plan, or that was just how the game developed?
And that was how the game developed. You know, they had two very good attacking players on their right-hand side, our left-hand side. So it's give and take a little bit. You know, I think we were able to attack them down their right-hand side, our left. But, you know, Paul has been one of our more influential players on the left-hand side. And then as far as the guys are concerned, I mean, look, they're down, they're dejected, Felipe. But that, again, it's a resilient group. Yaimar's in there providing some leadership. We got Steph Fry providing leadership. They're not going to quit. They're not going to give up. We've got two more hard road games, but they're not going to stop fighting.
Okay, I believe, Matt, you have a question in the room there down in Austin, so we'll throw to you quickly.
Hi, Coach. Thank you. My name is Bernardo. I'm here for Sounders Cast. Tough result today, but I think Sounder Hart reported that it was Nuhu's 300th game. If you marked him for the captaincy, how do you evaluate his performance today?
Well, look, that's a tricky question. Nuhu being the captain certainly has earned that. He's been here a long time. He's been a tremendous player for the club. But I think I can put him in the same category as some of the senior players that haven't stepped up. And, you know, tonight he was dealing with some cramping issues. He was dealing with some, you know, physical fatigue. But, you know, as a captain, you need to provide leadership. And you need to power through, persevere, figure out a way. And so, you know, when I took him off, it was because they had just scored the second goal and we needed to put an attacking player on there. But, you know, some of his play early on, he's such a tremendous athlete. He has to help us as well.
All right, we'll take a couple more here on Zoom. Callahan, go ahead and ask your question, please. Thanks for the patience.
So Albert said earlier that he thinks, you know, that maybe they should start focusing more on the results rather than on the good play throughout the games. Is this the right attitude that you're looking for your players to have, or is this something that can be fraught with danger of like going on tilt during games or something like that?
Well, we had talked about it before the game, so I'm glad he's still listening. We talked about being hard to beat. You know, some of the dark arts, you know, at 1-1, closing the game out, slowing the tempo, you know, falling over if they foul you. You know, some of the yellow cards, the fouls, all that sort of stuff. We have to get back to being hard to beat and doing some of those things to continue to try and collect more points. But I certainly do not want to just become a team that's the only thing they focus on. We're a very talented soccer team right now. We're in a little bit of a bad way. But when we get healthy and we get guys back and there's real competition, the group's going to respond.
All right, follow-ups quickly. Nico Moreno, do you have one still?
Yes, Coach, just your take on, you know, Jackson Reagan. You know, he had already gotten that yellow. He was potentially going to be out, but now he ends up getting that red. You know, just what you saw out of that play and what were the conversations with him?
I haven't had a conversation with him yet, but I will because it wasn't smart.
All right, we'll take two more. Nico Antune, go ahead, please.
Hi, Brian. To kind of build off of Reagan's suspension with the recovering Yamar on top of the unavailability, how do you feel like the team must adapt in the back and approach these games, especially when it comes to building from the back line?
Next man has to step up. It has nothing to do with building out of the back. We might have to start Tino Lopez and Stuart Hawkins, and it's a young back line with not a ton of experience, but I know what those kids are going to give me. They're going to give me effort. They're going to give me everything that they have, and we'll try and make sure we get the tactics right, that we don't put them in positions to fit.
All right, Jeremiah, why don't you take the last one, please?
This is a question I asked to Paul, and I may as well, or Paul and Albert both answered this, but I posed the question of how do you keep this from snowballing? And Paul sort of said one of the keys is to not talk about it snowballing, but to focus on sort of the positives of like the positive outcome of that. And I'm just curious if there's anything you can do to sort of change that potential narrative, because I can imagine it can start to feel like a lot.
Well, the team is has too many senior players on it. I'm not Pollyannic. I am, more reality based. And so we will discuss the situation that we find ourselves in, try and find solutions to those problems, and continue to work. I think that's what Paul probably is saying in his own way. We can't shy away from the position that we're in. And, we're going to address it, but we'll address it in a fashion where we give them, again, some ideas and some guidance and some confidence so that they can come out against Philadelphia and see if we can't collect some points.
Coach, thank you for your time. That concludes the post-match press conference.
There you have it from Brian Schmetzer, Albert Rusnak, and
I forgot to lower
Rothrock.
my hand.
Oh, classic blunder.
I didn't realize it stayed up. I thought it would have reset situation. I thought so. Rookie maneuver over here.
I think it's the least of
Matt
everyone's
cooked my ass,
collected.
though.
What did he say?
He was like, "No, I think you did." So I was like, I didn't raise my hand. Sorry. And then he was like, "No, I think you did."
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it sounded like I just left it up from the last round of questioning. That's I do that sometimes. So I guess, man, we got a lot to get to, and then we got to take some calls. But before we take calls, I think I want to get a few more takes out there. Where do you want to start? Do you want to do presser takeaways? Did you hear what you wanted to hear? They're basically saying that like it's bad, but I don't know. Like that's I don't really feel like there was much illuminated on either of those. Everyone kind of just knows. What are you gonna say? Yeah, that's kind of
what are you gonna say. Like, I mean, I think it may have been notable if they would have thrown their hands up in the air and been like, "We played well until the 80th minute."
There was a little bit of that, but like it wasn't. Like
when
that, they weren't planting their flag on that. Yeah.
When you come off the performance against Portland, you know what? Fuck it. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. You can have it. You can have that one. You did play better than your worst game you've ever played in your entire history. So you're right about that.
It's just okay. Can I just that is an admittedly low bar, and I want to just clarify because Reese, I saw you in chat giving me a hard time about the underlying stats. The only reason that I bring those up, it's not to say that the loss doesn't count. Okay, it's more just like if we're honestly trying to assess if there was an actual baseline of competitiveness coming off a 5-1 debacle against your biggest rival. And then a game where the score line is 3-1, like I realize that it doesn't matter and it's a low bar, but that would be the reason to look at that and see if it's at least like, did they actually get totally worked and blown off the field, or was there some sort of baseline of competitive fight? That's all I was getting at. Okay. So
no, I listen, I agree with you. I think that there's a situation.
The eye test bared that out too, I think, until they melted down at the end. But yeah,
like it doesn't count on the score line, and you're still 4 losses in a row. But I'm also looking at heavily rotated squad, heavily injured squad, but at least they played with some fucking heart tonight. At least they were willing to go out there and play how they should have played against Portland. Now, does that change the problems that we were already talking about literally earlier this week? No, because it's the roster is so thin at this point. There's no like attacking threat. You want to talk about, this is what I want to talk about first, Ari. Danny Musovski, useless. Osaze de Rosario, useless. The number 9 position as a whole, useless. They have not, the 9 has not scored this entire season still. Didn't
Starting
even
9.
look close tonight. Yeah, starting number 9.
Yeah, okay,
Didn't
so
even look
let's
close tonight.
Let's use that as a jumping off point, because I wanted to talk about the lineup and how they came out set up tonight, because when the starting 11 dropped, I was curious to see what it was going to look like. First of all, is there going to be like message sending guys on the bench? Are you going to change the setup? I really wanted Pete Kingston to start this game. That was an agenda that I was on. So I was curious to see what it was going to look like. And then it comes out, and the first thing I look at is I'm looking at the double pivot, and it's Hassani Dotson and Snyder Brunell again. How well did that work out against the Portland Timbies? So my thought was
bad.
Famously bad. So the first thing I'm thinking is like, man, like what I really wanted to see them do was put Peter Kingston in the double pivot with Snyder Brunell. I just feel like he can play that position, and he's got more of that just like kind of energy and dirty work skill set. I don't know. That's just kind of I felt like you couldn't run that double pivot again, first of all. And then also, I felt like Osaze should have been starting up top. Like, he didn't light the world on fire against the Timbies, but he was one of the probably 2 guys on the entire team that like brought a little bit of energy at one point when he came on. So, and he's just, he's got a more dynamic skill set. Throw him out there. What do you have to lose? Like that, to me, it was like a no-brainer that he should be starting. And then you can bring Moose on at 60 if it's not working instead of the other way. So I was like, why are they running the double pivot back? Why is Pete at right back instead of as one of the center mids? Why is Osaze not starting? So I came into this game like I think this is a little bit of like banging our heads against the wall here. Like, why would this work significantly better than it did against the Timbies? To be fair, it did work better, but I don't know, man. I would have rather seen a changeup thrown there. What did you think of the 11? What did you think of the 11?
I felt exactly the same as you. I mean, I knew going into, well, Schmetzer said, he was like, I don't think that this is going to be the change in rotation that I would have really wanted coming off of that Portland game. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. And most of that is you have like literally 5+ starters injured right now. So people in the chat are saying, what happened to deepest roster in MLS? Everyone got injured.
Everyone,
legitimately, the linchpin of your entire team injured. His brother, who has been the most solid center back and wing back that you have, injured. And then you're going down the list. Your double pivot is just a mess. Your striker situation in shambles. I mean, what? Like, I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. I honestly thought they were just going to roll out the same lineup as last time and just rock with it. Like, I was like,
essentially what they did. I guess, and except Kalani off the bench and
Peter Kingston. And yeah, I don't know. I think I loved Peter Kingston in this game. I loved him a lot.
I thought he played pretty well.
I am fully on board with your take. Put him higher up the field. Absolutely. Here's
the thing about Pete Kingston, man. I think there's complacency going on this team right now. Pete Kingston cannot afford to be complacent. He's still trying to make it. This is what I was kind of what I was thinking about coming off the Portland game is like, we talk so much about the energy and the heart and the fight not being there. And there's just some guys on this team that have been on the team for so long. And like, is it like, can you get up for every single one of these derbies when you're 10 years into it the same way you did when you were first starting out? You think the S2 fighting to make it version of Nuhu would have ever came out like that in a Portland Timbies game at the beginning of his career? Hell no, man. He's trying to make it. He's trying to like break into the team and make his career. That's the exact situation Pete Kingston is in right now. And that's why I'm like, they need more of that type of energy. And that's why, Stu Hawks being out there tonight too. That's another guy that's fighting to make it. I
thought he looked good
fighting to make it guys should be out there. Yeah, I know Stu Hawks played well. He had a great dime that set up the only goal, helped set up the only goal
Peter
of the game.
Kingston, by the way.
I know he got scored on at the end, but at that point,
was Paul
it's too late
Arriola's
anyway.
fault, man.
And it was Paul Arriola's fault. Yeah.
If we want to talk about a culprit in this game, Paul Arriola immediately comes on and plays some of the worst soccer I've ever seen in my life. Granted, he hasn't played a lot. I get it. I don't want to be rude. I like Paul Arriola. I like him as a person. He's ripped. He's also attractive. I got to be honest, this game, put him on the trade block. I don't want to see him.
What was he doing?
I don't want to see him again. Those 2 goals lay at his feet. An absolutely idiotic, stupid, dumb and dumber, stupid turnover that leads to the goal, the go-ahead goal, and then the second goal, just absolutely like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing on that defensive play? Just awful. And he has had 2 good games this season, and we just haven't played him. So
he got hurt at one point.
What are we doing with that? What are we doing with that? I don't know.
But that was frustrating because exactly like Schmetzer said in the presser, it's like, dude, either boot it as far as you can, yeet it, or hit it off the guy and get the throw in and just close the game out. That's what you guys are trying to do anyway. You guys just delayed the game for 12 minutes fighting about like a possession dispute to try and salt the game, to see it out, get the 1-1, leave with the points.
What you're saying. It's the Peter Kingstons, it's the Stu Hawkins, it's the Paul Rothrocks of the world who have the dog in them, who are like, this could be my last game. I'm throwing everything out there. It felt like, to me, you're seeing Paul Arriola come on the field, be like, oh, I'm so excited, guys, I'm back. Guys, I'm getting my minutes to come back.
Sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off. But do you guys want to feel just a little bit better? Just a little bit better. It's not gonna salvage the situation, but for whatever it's worth, the Portland Timbies just gave up an 88th minute game winner to FC Dallas at Providence Park. So it's nice to see them get taken back. They thought they were onto something after waxing this zombie squad. They thought they were gonna use it to springboard their season. They go home. They got FC Dallas next. They're ready to get it rolling. They just hired a coach and they just got bammed on in the 88th minute at Providence Park. So,
oh my God. And you know what? To celebrate that, let's thank our, we had some questions roll in here while we did that. Or 30 gems. This is a new YouTube thing. I don't know what it is, but give us gems. We'll take all of your gems.
I'll take the gems.
But take your gems. And here, question from Curtis Chad, 199. Thank you for big roller here. Curtis, Jesus fan, but where the F is he at?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
I agree with you. He had a quiet game, but his stats looked good. So, guys, stat sheet, guys.
Well, in all seriousness, I feel like with him right now, at least in this game, but even in a couple instances in the Portland game, he'll have like an individual moment or two where you're like, oh, nice pass, or like, oh, that was a nice play. Like in the Portland game when he set up Kalani with the dummy, I was like, oh, that was a nice play. Tonight he had like a nice pass where it's like, oh, Jesus kind of looks like he's doing
open. He was wide open and should have had a ball.
Snyder missed him. Oh, yeah, that was a frustrating one too. So like, but like that's what I mean. There's like a moment like that where you're like, he was in the right spot. That was a good run, but it's like he's not being consistently influential enough right now. So
no, I agree. And now we're back at the like, can Jesus and I don't even care. Moving on. Next question here. Jake got us with the, when does GAM make their debut? Never.
Yeah, never. What do you mean?
Never.
They're not going to spend it?
No. They're going to let the GAM expire. Like, you know, the coupon that you like, or the gift card that you keep in your wallet, but you like go to that store, you buy things like every week and you're like, fuck, I got to use that gift card. Fuck, I got to use that. They're never spending that. Good luck. And then another dude, we just got these 750 gems. Come on.
What is a gem?
Some gems.
Can we turn that into money? Like, what?
Give it to us. I feel like I'm a little you know, the little, what's that? Minecraft. Why did I just totally blank on Minecraft? I'm a little Minecraft guy. Ah! I don't know. Oh, we got more gems. Oh my God, Mr. Jake.
There better be like a utility for gems. Like,
Dude, we're gonna bring gems back into your community. We will redistribute all of the gems. Let's jump back into finishing talks about the Paul Arriola debate, and I also want to get your takes on Hassani Dotson, because I think we were both very critical of him, and I want to know what your take was on his performance in this match, Ari.
Not good. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of in that, like, technically better than the Portland game, I guess, but what does that really get you, bucket?
Yeah.
Is that fair? I don't know. Like,
I agree with you. It's like, wow, thank you. I'm so glad we're paying $800,000 a season for this guy. Really great signing. And you know what sucks about that?
Let's eat our crow on that. That's
what I was gonna say. We thought that was a cook, and we were wrong.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
And you know, I think, to be fair to us, like, we watch a lot more of the whole league than most people. And so when we see a guy who has played well for a previous team, such as Jesus Ferreira or Hassani Dotson, maybe we make the natural tendency to be like, oh, well, that's for sure going to translate. Jesus Ferreira banged 50, 60 goals for FC Dallas. Why would he not be productive in Seattle? Oh, Hassani Dotson, he was like a upper tier, he was probably top 10 in that position at points for Minnesota United. Is that like a exaggeration? No. Like, I think he was considered like an all-star level player for them, I would say, during his career. By the way,
lost to Sporting Kansas City today. There was a Minnesota United fan in my mentions earlier who like literally stalks me and just tries to like send me every time the Sounders do bad, but they're a Minnesota fan, and it's like, brother, look in the mirror. You just lost to Sporting Kansas City.
Oh, Portland equalizer. God damn it. My bad. I mean, whatever. It's a home draw versus FC Dallas. That's not like an incredible result.
Yeah.
But we can't have anything.
More and more.
We can't have anything right now.
We can't have anything. These gems are going to go to the Beat Portland Fund. 30 gems and 10 gems and 10 more gold coin. This one's a silver star. We got a silver star in gems. 10 gems. GG. Thanks for the gem. Thanks for the gem. You know those like TikTok streamers, Ari? You know. Do you know about that?
I don't know what's going on with the gems. I don't know what's going on with TikTok, but I
don't know.
All right. Where were we?
We were talking about Hassani Dotson. We were talking about let's just do this really quickly. Okay. Let's look at the next few matches that we have to play, and I want to play a little game called Winner, Loss, or Draw. Because
this is not going to be fun, is it?
I think that Brian's, big talk, the whole spiraling situation, I guess, that Jeremiah was bringing up.
Should we talk about that a little more? Like, dude, they were literally 5 minutes.
Yeah,
they were 5 minutes from 1-1ing that. And if they had won that, I don't think the vibes on this show would be incredible. They would not be. I definitely would not be sitting here talking about how back they are, but like I could have at least deluded myself into the mental gymnastics of like, a 1-1 at Austin under normal circumstances, which these are not normal circumstances because you just got 5-1 by your biggest rival at home. But under normal circumstances, do I take a 1-1 at Austin in July when it's 127 degrees? Hell yeah, I do. And they looked more competitive in the game, or they were way more competitive in the game to be able to get a draw on the road like we're used to seeing a Sounders team be able to do. So like I could have done those mental gymnastics if they had just 1-1 that, but then they get bammed on for the 2-1 and then bammed on again for the 3-1. And then they get a red card to bring the crash out red card boys back. What the hell, man? What the hell was that?
They concede those two. And listen, I understand you've got to press for goals. You got to press for a goal. Like I get it. I totally get it. I get the game plan. I respect it. But at the same time, what happened? You put in Paul Arriola to press for goals, and then that decision directly translated into those two concessions. You changed up your whole formation, made a bunch of weird substitutions, shifted everything around. Every time Brian does that late in the game, pushes for a goal,
they get
this shit always happens. This shit always happens. Get me in that assistant coach locker room. We're not doing that anymore. We're done with that bit. Bad bit. Bad bit. And then Jackson Reagan, listen, I appreciate his teammates defending him. I appreciate Brian being understanding. That's dumb. That's dangerous. That's a dirty play. And frankly, I don't want a Sounders player doing that. And now you have a target on your head when you come back because everyone in the league saw what you did. And it was stupid as fuck. That was stupid. Nuhu. Yes, Nuhu, no red card. Nuhu, captain's armband, the only one who seemingly was calm, cool, and collected. Jackson Reagan crash out before a Nuhu crash out? I do fear we are spiraling to a point in which I don't know if it's gonna
that's the type of stuff that happens when you're spiraling. I don't know. I don't know if we can say that it's a confirmed spiral after 2 games, but if they are going to spiral, this is exactly what they would do to precursor the spiral.
Yeah.
So
all right, let's do these games really quick. Then we're gonna get to the most recent donations, and then we will open up calls. We know people are ready to call, but we're just gonna do this really quick. Away at Philadelphia Union, who just played a match and won 3-1 against the New York Red Bulls. How are we feeling on that?
I mean, dude, like, who's even going to play, man? Like, you got Stu Hawks. Jackson Reagan suspended. Nuhu looked like he was playing through a knock, at the end of that game. Or maybe he was just cramping, but he was not moving well. Like, I don't think he's going to be 100% for this game. But either way,
might be back, maybe.
But even if he is first game back, I think I will say just real quick on that. I think that has kind of roiled this team a lot more than we probably thought or hoped it would. And CB was thin going into the year, and you have Kim
but you know what, guys,
on the roster. You have Mr. Whitehouse going to Washington D.C. and now he's not even playing. So what? I mean, this is what happens.
I was told that, going to the White House was more important than rehabbing. I was told that
maybe we should be focusing on soccer instead of Washington, D.C.
And you know what? I'm just going to say it. You know who didn't win the World Cup after going to the White House? Leo Messi. I'm just saying, we got to think about it. Everything he touches turns to trash. Regardless of that, then additionally, you're like, what if we re-signed 48-year-old Kim Keehee, who already has an injury history and has already been injured and struggling with it? Guys, we have CB depth, I swear.
Yeah, well, and so I will say, Stu Hawks, my confidence in Stu Hawks.
This is a good take. This is a good take. He was on the bench tonight, and I was hoping he would get in. Play him. I have it on record.
Play him.
Sandness. Yeah. He on record from other players who play with him say he is it. He is him. I asked a couple of Defiance players who they played with that they thought was the best, up and comer. Both of them said that they're Gal Glazers.
There's a lot of Gal Glazers.
That they were Gal Glazers.
You never know what to make of that when you hear stuff like that. But that when you do hear that said, it is notable.
Yeah.
I put him out there. I mean, Schmetzer all but said that he's putting the Tino Lopez Stu Hawks pairing out there, which honestly I'm kind of down at this point. If Jackson Reagan wants to crash out red card and give one of these young guys a chance while they're kind of punting games right now anyway, not intentionally punting, but it's what chance do they really have to go across the country to the Philly Union, who have been one of the worst teams in the league but look better and won 3-1 today. I don't know.
All right, so Sadness and Tino Lopez center back with Stu Hawk as the substitution.
It's this game. This is one of those MLS road games, and it's really unfortunate that it's timed right now while all the rest of this is going on.
It's 3 days away.
This is one of those MLS road games where every year, no matter how good or bad the team is, there are a couple where you look at the injury situation and you look at the travel situation and you look at the form of the opponent and you kind of know what's going to happen before it even happens. And this is one of those games where, obviously no one in the organization and the coaches and the players would never this would never happen. But from where I sit, knowing how these things go, it's dude, just don't even fly out there, man.
Yeah,
there's nothing to be gained. But
It's gonna be a game where you
But
realize.
like the only thing
who
I
the
will say,
dogs are.
the only thing I will say with that is that it has happened to me a lot of times where I felt like that going into a game, even a big road game like this, and then they like go out and win. So
They
I
gotta
mean,
do. They
it's
have
MLS, but
if they're gonna deploy it. If there was ever a time to deploy it, Ari, take a note out of someone who is banned from the state of Washington, from my house, Mr. Harambal himself. You go to Philly, and you know what you do? You pack it back. You troll. You troll that 0-0. You pass that ball. You just bunker.
It's just I don't think that's gonna work. I get what you're saying,
Ari.
I get what you're saying. I just that
All right, we'll chalk it up as a loss.
Yeah.
Okay. Chalked up as a loss. We return back to the beautiful Pacific Northwest for an August 1st matchup at Providence Park against the Portland Timbers. How are we feeling about that?
Not great. Definitely not positive given how the last game went. I mean, if I were to try and make the case for their chances in that game, it would be that number one, like it's got to be seared into their minds. You would think that they cannot do what they did the last time they played the Portland Timbies. So maybe from that, there's just more of a baseline of like playing up to the occasion more. And then what do we talk about all the time in the other direction? These derby games, it doesn't matter what type of form that you are in. The Portland Timbies have been in worse way than this a lot of times and beat the Seattle Sounders a lot of times. We just saw it happen. They were at 1.0 points per game and then came into Lumen Field and 5-1 Seattle. So, stuff like that can always happen, I guess. I don't know how likely I think that is, but like the Timbies do that all the time. So why can't Seattle do it? It's just a role reversal because the Timbies are the ones usually limping around, and now Seattle's the one limping around. So
you're chalking that up as a draw, right? A 0-0 draw. Do you think
it's probably an L?
Okay, all right, double L. Okay, we're on to
I'm sorry.
We're on to our 6th consecutive L. Brian Schmetzer is rolling his boys into Leagues Cup as defending champions, where they scored a Puskas-nominated goal, dominated the champions of CONCACAF, but they have to fly down to the big bad Toluca and play the first ever away game in Leagues Cup history. Ari, how are we feeling? Seattle Sounders versus Toluca, opening match of their Leagues Cup campaign.
That's just, it's not gonna go. The only thing I want to see with that is like, does Yaimar get back? Does Christian get back? Does Pedro de la Vega get back? Because if guys actually start coming back, I think that would improve their chances, would it not? Like this team without Christian Roldan and without Yaimar and without de la Vega on top of that, I know they were already without him, but like you throw the Christian thing on top of that. And then like I was saying earlier, maybe we can talk about it a little more. The Yaimar thing, I think is kind of hovering over all of this in a way that I think really has had a big impact. So, if you actually get those guys back, like Schmetz was saying, maybe you can pull a result there. I don't know. But it's really hard to predict anything other than L's in any of these games right now. Maybe that's emotional, but like,
I think we've been chalking up this Toluca away game as an L.
Yeah, I was chalking that up before they started spiraling.
Yeah. And we have no timeline for Pedro. We don't know. And from what we do know about when he does come back, they will be absolutely slow rolling him back into the squad. So even if he is back by that game, he's not playing 90 minutes. Who knows if he's playing 45 minutes? Who knows what he looks like there? Finally, Ari, we've done our away stretch. We're back home, and we get to play 2 matches at Lumen Field. Quintero and Chivas. Chivas is a very good team. They also most likely will pack out Lumen Field at this point, as the Sounders, in your estimation, will be like 7 losses in. They will probably outnumber the Sounders fans, and it will be a Chivas home game. And Quintero is, I don't even know where they finished last season. But let's see where they finish. They finished 12th. They're a mid-table team. They're a mid-table team.
They're not better than Cruz Azul of
No.
last year. No. So, maybe like honestly, at that point, they should be a little bit healthier, you would think. And they have a good recent track record against Liga MX teams at home.
Sorry, guys, I'm not reading the name right. My bad.
Kentaro.
Querétaro, my bad, guys.
Querétaro.
My bad.
Yeah, I was like, are you talking about Darwin Quintero?
Yeah, that's literally what was in my head. Was
okay,
Darwin
I guess
Quintero.
this is where we can talk about some potential cope. Like, do you think that there is any path? And I'm just asking the question. Do you think there is a path, like when Christian gets back and when Yeimar gets back specifically, and maybe you get Alex Roldan back at some point? Like, can an improved bill of health help the situation to the point where, maybe they're not a Shield contending pace, but they're closer to the team that we saw in the first part of the season than whatever we're watching right now?
Yeah. Before I address that, everyone's telling me how to pronounce the name in the chat, and I believe they're saying that it's Quesarito. Quesarito.
KC Keller.
KC Keller. So thank you guys for helping me out in the chat there. I really appreciate that. I don't know, Ari. I really don't know. I feel I hate to be a doomer. Like I like to get the doomers out on this show here, but it's really hard to look at any of this and feel good. Or that like you pull back a match and like something happens, or like you make us. I mean, I guess they could sign someone, but
I mean, come on.
Like, yeah, they did release Yusuke Nome though, Ari. They got an international spot now.
Do you think that was foreshadowing something?
I can't wait for an interleague transfer. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
When they trade, they'll trade like they'll be like, maybe they could trade Hassani Dotson. I don't know. I have no clue. But should we put the call link out? Should we take calls? I feel like
unless you had anything else you wanted to hit.
No, I don't care. I don't
right,
care about Austin FC. Dropped the link. Let me pin it as well. But jump on in here and we'll take your calls.
Let's get it over with.
Let's do it. Call in. Call in.
All right, we got Tribe, we got Kenny, we got the usual suspects here to lead it off. Can't wait to hear what you, the people, have to say after another Seattle Sounders L. All right, let's get Tribe in here first. Tribe, what's up, man? Another L at Austin FC. The squad is spiraling. The Crash Out Red Card boys are back. It's bad, my brother. How are you doing? What do you think?
Well, I'm so fucking stressed. I have 12 wads of gum in my mouth right now. I can't even chew properly. My jaw feels like it's gonna break. I am extraordinarily pissed off. Sorry.
Wait, you can just put it right here.
Yeah, okay. I am extraordinary. Absolute ball knowledge from you. I am extraordinarily pissed off. Jackson Reagan, man, he's our best defender. What are we doing? We're gonna lose the game anyways. You can't be doing a red card stopping a counterattack challenge when you're already on a yellow card. That is completely irresponsible, horrible, stupid. Shame on him. He needs to hang his head in shame. Honestly, it's very, very poor. I'm pissed at Paul Arriola, who, when he first played his games with the Sounders in those Champions League matches a year ago, looked like the best player on the field. We thought we were going to build him a statue. He's gone downhill from there completely, and you can see it in the turnovers and in the misplays. I just feel like we need to desperately sign someone. Everyone's been saying this. There's nothing coming out of the ownership or Craig Weibel. Nothing. We're not getting anything. And now we're gonna have a Caleb crash out because now we're linked to Xavier Gozo's brother. or something like that.
He did.
So
He
we're
did
gonna have
train. He did train with us. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have a full-on Caleb crash out.
You know,
Shout
Caleb,
out to
hold
Caleb.
on. Because Caleb did donate here. We have a ton of donations that I forgot to get to, but I'm gonna do Caleb's really quick because
Go for it.
he said say the letters.
Say him, Tribe.
R-S-L.
Let's go. No, you guys need to get him in here. What an absolute legend he is. But it's just poor. I don't see a way forward if we're not going to be an ambitious club in the transfer market. And it's hit or miss with these young new players. It really is. That's just what you're going to get. You're going to get hit or miss. It's the same with transfers, but it takes time to develop players. We don't really have time with what we're seeing right now from this team. So I'm a little bit worried about how we're going to look moving forward, especially with all these injuries as well.
I completely agree. Hassani Dotson, what do we do with him?
I don't know, man. I mean, fucking send him to Burger King, make him work, and use his paycheck to buy someone. I don't know. Honestly, he used to be a good player, a really good, solid defensive midfielder for Minnesota United. Now it's just, I don't know. It's weird. We sign these players who were top of the league at one point, and in our system they don't seem to be the same. I don't understand it. It is a system that requires a certain type of player. It's a very different system from what Jesus Ferreira was doing at FC Dallas, from Hassani Dotson in Minnesota. But you would think that these players could adapt a little bit better. Not Jesus, he's a great player still, but Hassani Dotson hasn't really seemed to be himself, his Minnesota United self.
I completely agree. And this is my final question for you, Tribe. When you see that there's only 60 people that have liked the video, but we do have 280 people watching, I mean, what goes through your head? Because like what goes through my head is that it is despicable. It's disgraceful. It's like, what are you doing? You're mooching without giving us a free like. What are we doing here? You know, I'd love to hear what your take is on that.
It's called loitering, window shopping. It's poor. It is poor from the public. Shame on all of you. Let's hit that. Let's hit that like button. Shame on all of you.
Red card to the public. Crash out red card.
Absolutely. Send them all off to fucking let's send them over to who's a fucking talking to Woods. Send them over to them. He can deal with them. We don't care.
Look, okay, it wasn't hidden bonus. It wasn't hidden bonus. Hidden bonus liked the video. But Tribe, what are your final takeaways before we move on to Kenny here next on the call?
I don't have any final takeaways because I am so pissed. If I, as Jose Mourinho once said, if I speak, I will be in trouble. So I absolutely wish you guys the best with this stream. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one if I'm not busy. And yeah, absolutely love you guys.
Thanks, Tribe.
No worries. Cheers.
All right.
Should we hit these the rest of the super
Kenny,
chats?
we're gonna do these super chats real quick because there's like 7 billion of them. We got 10 gems from Sounder74. Press F, Ari. Press F.
Can someone
It's like a little thingy, and it does a little thingy on the screen, and like guys, send some gems so Ari can see what it looks like.
I just press F.
No, it's a joke.
Okay,
guys,
like,
he doesn't get
activate
it.
the gems.
Guys, everyone make fun of him in chat. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. And then Chicken 8 Boy says, "Why did Schmetz get a yellow? I don't know. Poor. That's what I should have asked with my question.
Why did you get a yellow? Yeah. Oh man, forgot.
I absolutely fumbled that. I will figure out.
I mean, I think he was just letting the ref have it. But
yeah,
like,
I think he was just.
Schmetz usually never does that. It is interesting. I think it's like I'm trying to give the boys a jolt type of thing. Didn't really work.
Yeah. And we got 20 bones from Bellboy Brady. Jesus seems scared to shoot past 2 opportunities in front of goal. That's a good take, and I completely agree.
He's been too passive his whole time on this team. I think like he's too deferential, man. It's like you have 60 plus MLS goals. Just shoot, brother. Like
I think he feels snake bit. He's said that. He's said that he feels snake bit. He feels like he's
overthinking it. He's overthinking.
You gotta do it, dude. You
just gotta throw caution to the wind and let the chips fall where they may. Just shoot.
It's like when you're playing in rec soccer league and you're just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna blast it from midfield. Who cares? who cares? You'll get another opportunity. Like, what is this, professional soccer at the highest level, where when you shoot and miss the target a bunch of times, you have a live stream full of 500 people complaining about you? It's like, come on, bro, just shoot the ball. Next up, we have Roar. Was Thomas a false messiah? I don't really think Andrew Thomas has been bad in any of these games, but maybe I'm wrong.
I thought in the Portland game there was a couple where he didn't like help the situation.
Sure.
But I don't know if I'm ready to like put him on. I'm not ready to put him on fraud watch. Like, I think, I think the goals that they've been conceding are a lot more due to the bad news Bears defense than the goalkeeper, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, I feel like it's that center defensive mid breakdown where they're just able to open up and spread the defense like crazy. I think that's more of a problem than Andrew Thomas not being able to like make a crazy save. But hey, we'll keep him on watch. He's on watch. He's on watch now. We got Derek, 19 months. Ufta. Yes, Ballard FC is playing soon. Shout out to them, and shout out to Salmon Bay, national champions. Dusty Potato says, when we lose in Philly, does Brian still have a job when he gets back to Seattle?
Should we talk about if he's on the seat of heat? We basically
should we bring Kenny in to talk about it?
Yeah.
All right, Kenny's ready to talk. Kenny, do we think Brian Schmetzer's on the hot seat? You take it from here.
He's got to be. Well, okay, I have a crazy conspiracy theory. I think Brian is still experiencing some health issues, and they're not going to fire him in the season.
Like, they're not.
So, like, wasn't he getting like biopsies and stuff for like under his eye, all that bruising and stuff?
I don't remember like what the specifics of it, but there was something like that. But then
exactly.
Anyway, maybe it's just because I saw him on like the Providence commercial after the game. You know, got me worried about our old coach.
Yeah.
But this game, you know, what a letdown. You know, we heard all week how Brian says he's not eating and he's not shaving. Maybe he should shave and eat. He was a little hangry, I think. He was barking at the referee, and it rubbed off on Jackson Reagan. Jackson, low IQ, ignorant thug, stereotypical angry white man. Stay away from Nuhu with that bad energy. Don't bring. Let's talk about some positives. Rothrock scored from his knees. He dropped to his knees.
All this team has right now. All this team has on offense is Paul Rothrock at the far post. There is no other way this team can score.
It's one strat. They have one strat,
and it actually, to be fair, kind of works. But it's not enough, unfortunately. You have to be able to score in more than one way.
The alley-oop off the backboard. Snyder Brunell and Pete Kingston.
It was a genuinely sick goal. I will say that. It was nice to see them like slice and dice a defense like the Seattle Sounders again, just for one fleeting moment. Slice and dice the defense. Snyder B, you know, I feel bad for him. He's snake bit. He hits it off the post, but then it's like it falls right to Pauly Primetime. Exactly. That's your classic Seattle Sounders goal. I wasn't ready to say we were back in that moment, but I was like, you know, that was at least nice to watch.
And then, you know, we were decent in the first half. We were hanging in there. Reagan was quite good in the first half. I mean, he was solid. He was winning all his headers.
I thought the fullback line looked pretty good.
The defense was okay. It was the set piece goal, but other than that, Austin didn't really have anything.
Well, let's slow down just a tiny bit there. I think it was shortly before halftime. So yeah, getting towards the end of the half. So for like 40 minutes, the defense was really good. And then Pete Kingston gets spun really bad. He's kind of like jockeying the space and goes in behind him, and he has to spin really quick. He just gets completely turned, skinned inside out from the passing, and he recovers. And then I think that's when Andrew Thomas makes a pretty good save from inside the box, and then Hassani Dotson has it, and he's looking for his outlet, and he dishes it immediately to, it's just, you know, a hospital ball, and the the attacks coming right back down the center of our defense. And if that leads to a goal, then we're talking even more about Hassani's performance. And I'm a 2-5-3 guy. I still believe in him. He's got that dog in him, just like we all do down here. And he can still come good, but I don't know if he's still got some lingering issues from his past injuries, and another Washington guy we've signed who has past injuries. And, it's getting to be a lot. We only had 6 outfield players on the bench again. And, I thought the defense completely fell apart in the second half.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Yeah. Any other takes? Captain Nuhu I already highlighted Captain Nuhu holding it down.
Hey,
Saw a lot of people
300
crashing
games,
out about
man.
Nuhu.
Well, because he had that one, he had that sequence at the end where he cramped up. They made him get off the field, and then he ran. He ran.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was the best part of the game. That was the best part of the game.
No, but it made sense because the ref was like, "You can't come back in," and so he was like, "Oh, I guess I can't come in
Well,
right here. I have to walk all the way around."
Schmetzer was literally like, "Nuhu, what the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
And he was like trying to.
That might have been why he got the yellow. That might have been why.
No, the yellow was way before that. But he was yelling at Nuhu, and Nuhu was trying to yell back to explain what he was thinking. But it's like, dude, at this point, just go back on.
Get your ass back. Just go.
God
just go.
damn it.
Gotta love him. 300 games for Nuhu. I don't think we're making a big enough deal about that. He came here as a teenager from, Central Africa, barely any professional experience. He came up through
Didn't know how to use
those...
Uber, famously. Didn't know how to use Uber.
Yeah. I mean, just complete culture shock, and it's a testament to our system and our development and to his, resilience and his, positivity and attitude as a player, all these setbacks he's faced. A lot of people could have ran away from this club, don't want an old strict manager, go get paid more with having more freedom. But, he's changed his life around in some ways. I'm pretty sure he's still at the clubs in Capitol Hill, man, but he's not eating the spicy chicken so much. So, I'm just so fucking proud of Nuhu, man. And I still believe in this team. I believe in a lot of these players, Let's get our best defender, our best midfielder, and our best attacker back on the field. And fucking pray, because there's no help coming, guys. There's no help coming. You're getting Cody Phoenix and you're getting
Pedro de la Vega is the new signing. It is the same thing as a new signing. Be grateful, guys.
It's going to be a fall signing, not a summer signing. He's the fall reinforcement.
Yeah, he is a fall signing. Yeah.
We'll get him for 15 minutes, and then 20 minutes, and then 30, and then he'll be injured again, and then it'll be the off season, and then we'll get no. All right, guys, you got a long call list, I bet. Thank you.
All right, bye, Kenny.
Later, Kenny. Good stuff, man.
Someone, Tim said, does the 300 games play into the tattoo wager? No. He's still on it. He can still get a crush out red card, guys, and I won't have to get the Nuhu related tattoo. James, before we grab you, I just wanted to do the Brian Schmetzer hot seat takes quickly from both of us. Ari, where do you sit on it?
I would say that it feels like a situation where, not yet, in the sense that, say there is a reality where they go pick up a nice win in Philly, and then they come back and they, maybe they don't beat Portland, but they take a hard fought draw, and then they take an unexpected W in leagues. I think there's still things that could happen that temper that conversation, but it's they have started on a path where if they continue on said path, then that is going to be the result at the end of the path. Does that make sense?
Yeah. If Brian Schmetzer gets fired, it's a cop-out firing, because the issues that this team is having have nothing to do with Brian Schmetzer. Has he made some maybe poor managerial decisions at certain junctures? Sure, absolutely. So has every coach. But bringing in a new coach is not going to solve the problem that you literally had 6 fucking players on your bench tonight, that you were starting multiple teenagers who have under 100 minutes in MLS.
Well, okay.
I don't know. I don't know how that's Brian Schmetzer's fault. Maybe he should be advocating for more players, but like, I don't know. I don't. I really don't know.
Let me play the devil's advocate real quick, and then we can get James in here and get his take. But I think the devil's advocate would be like, I think what you're saying is true. It's not like the issues at hand are fully to do with the coach, but I think the argument would be like stagnation. Like when we we were talking to Kenny on the last call-in show, and he was like making the late stage Pete Carroll analogy. I think that would be the argument. Like it's like, sometimes you've just been in a place for so long that it starts to, you don't have like the same magic that you used to. Your message isn't landing like it used to. And once you get in those situations, you can still be a great goated coach, but maybe like new ideas, new energy, new blood, you can make an argument for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you were willing to commit to a rebuild and you were willing to actually have some momentum, but it's like, dude, what's the point? That's not going to happen. So you're just going to toss a new coach into a pool of players that's been there. Like, that's not going to change.
That never really, teams that try to do that, it usually doesn't go that well.
It doesn't work.
It's like waving the white flag, but yeah. All right, let's get James.
James, you ready to go? Yep. All right.
Yep.
James.
Oh, you're echoing a little bit.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're
I think you have our stream open.
I don't think I do. But
it's all good. It's your phone. You cook. We'll be quiet.
All right. Regarding Schmetzer, I don't think he's on the hot seat, if for no other reason than Hanauer can't afford to fire him. And I think that deep down, Hanauer knows that he can't hire anybody better. You know, you go from the consensus best GM in Garth Lagerwey to an idiot in Craig Weibel, and he doesn't want to do that with the manager. And everybody knows that the real problems are that the owner won't spend and that the GM can't sign good players. So firing the icon of Seattle soccer is not going to go over well. With that being said, Brian needs to change. Okay. I don't think he's ever been a tactical genius. He's not a guy who springs these clever counter moves to depending on the opponent. He's always been a guy who takes a 4-2-3-1, puts his best players in it, and where his real genius is in motivating people. He gets them ready to run through a brick wall. And that's not going to work anymore. He doesn't have the player quality to just put his best players out there. And so, you know, I looked at this before the game and I said, well, what are some things that he can do to sort of counter the problems we saw against Portland? You know, the Swiss cheese midfield. And I'm thinking of all these things like, you know, there's a 4-4-2 diamond. You can kind of divide the midfield up a bit more so people aren't roaming so much. Do a 3-5-2, make it a little more defensive. And he doesn't do any of that. He puts out the same formation with the same double pivot. The only people he drops are the kids, KKR and Tino Lopez. Were they any worse in that Portland game than Dotson, than Rusnak? No, but it's the kids who pay. And then as we're going through the game, who gets subbed out? It's the kids, Kingston and Brunel, who combined to set up that first goal. And so Brian is just, it's gotten very stale. He's relying on the same players who just cannot go out and he can't just rely on them to go out and ball out the way he could when we had a Ladero or a Rui Diaz. And he's still, the zonal marking bullshit that led to the first goal, that's still there. So he's going to have to change. He's going to have to get more creative. He's going to have to innovate tactically. He's going to have to take risks on the kids, and he's going to have to bench some of the underperforming veterans. Again, I don't think he's on the hot seat, but he can't do what he's always done because he just doesn't have the horses for it.
That was a cook.
I just can't talk because I'm hearing my own voice.
Here, we'll mute you while we talk, and then I'll unmute you when you talk. There we go. Yeah, that's
okay. That's better. That's better. Now we can talk. Noah, do you want to give your take on the James take?
I agree that it would be silly to fire Brian. I'm like fully in agreement there, and also
why run the same double pivot?
I mean, I think that who else are you running?
Pete Kingston and Snyder Brunel.
But like, yeah, okay, that's fair. So yeah, he's got to change a little bit. But like, I don't. I don't know. It's you got played through so bad last game that like if you put you're putting an even less experienced person in that spot. I think that's the calculation. Like that's the only calculation.
He would probably say like the double pivot actually like functioned okay enough for us to be competitive into the 85th minute of the game and be a couple minutes from taking the 1-1. Like the way that what they're probably telling themselves right now is like, yeah, like everyone's going to be flaming us for losing for 3-1 again. But realistically, we were right there to take a road result like the Seattle Sounders usually are in these games. And then we spiraled and melted down and crash out red card Boyd at the end. But like on the balance, it's not as bad as it's getting made out to be. That's probably, I would say that that's not how they should be thinking of it, but that probably is how they're thinking of it.
James.
Yes.
Okay, you're back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that double pivot was better, and I thought Snyder looked better in this game. I can't believe how slow he is. I mean, he's really not that fast for a 19-year-old. Which, you know, again, I mean, sorry, this is a Craig Weibel problem. I mean, the only reason we were able to carry Rusnak and his low work rate for as long as we did is because we had two guys in Obed and Christian who covered 9 miles a game. All right, we lose Obed. What do? We get Dotson in there, who is significantly less mobile. I mean, this is the thing about Craig Weibel. He doesn't understand soccer, and he certainly doesn't understand the way Brian Schmetzer does, the way Brian Schmetzer wants to play. And so you just get these signings that just don't make any sense. And on top of that, they're always injured. So, you know, it's just, I see we've opened up an international spot. I don't want to give Craig Weibel another shot to get another disastrous Paul Areola contract in there. Frankly, I'd rather just ride out the season and play the kids rather than and wait for him to get voted out in the GM vote rather than lock us down to another 3-year, $1 million contract. I think it's kind of grim, and I'll stop. I'll go ahead and just say my last piece here, so you don't have to keep muting and unmuting. Hanauer needs to sell. He has been committing financial malpractice ever since 2019. He doesn't have any money because of his own poor decisions. It doesn't look like changing. He's got to get out of there. And to the listeners in the chat, you can decline to renew your season tickets and let the people know that you're not doing it because we're not spending on the team. Because contrary to what Hanauer's biggest cheerleaders like to say, spending does matter in MLS. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope you all have a great night.
Thanks, James.
Good stuff as always, James.
Always good to hear from James.
Always bringing the heat.
I want to
hear
your quickly any response you had to what James said, and then we'll jump on to Blake, who it says your device is not connected. So Blake, if you leave the queue and join back, we'll bring you back in. We'll bring you in next. But like I disagree with maybe the we see you now, Blake. I disagree maybe with the fact that Weibel doesn't know soccer. I think he does know soccer. I think I don't know. I don't even know what to think anymore. I just like it's not great. The situation's not great, and no, they're not going to spend any money. So like even if you it's the same thing. You get rid of Craig, who comes in and spend like I don't know. Like
So
is Craig quitting? Does Craig care about this job even? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. Man.
Like I don't even know what's to it just.
The thing is, like, so Nico and I were talking about how, you can get rid of Craig, but like it's not like whoever comes in is going to be given more money. They're not getting more money. But then there's the other side of kind of how Jo was talking about it, which is like it's not even about like Craig. It's like it's the one mechanism that fans have to send a message to ownership that like the way this is being run, we don't approve of it. So like that the whole vote thing, it could come down to that as much as anything about like the stuff
which
that
I would understand
James was talking about with Craig's like transfer record or whatever. It's more it's as much about like sending a message as anything, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right, Blake, we see you. Are you ready to join in? All right, Blake, how are we?
Blake, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Sorry, I'm on YouTube too. Hold on 1 second.
You're good.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
All right. First of all, thank you guys for providing all of us fans with a platform to put out all of our grievances, and I appreciate that.
Gotcha.
But like context, I'm a Raul Ruidiaz guy, and Craig Weibel has not provided. And I second everyone that has said everything past the 5-1 game, past like the past 4 years, we haven't signed anybody. And I want to bring it back to what Brian Schmetzer has said forever. The club is the relationship between the players and the fans. And where is that? The club is, it's the winning culture. And I'm not sure what happened when our guys go out there and do not understand the rivalry between Portland and Seattle. And so that's my grievance, is that management, the front office, and leadership cannot put that point across through our roster, our buying power, and, frankly, just like the guys are not the problem. It's our leadership. And so I second what I'm not sure who was on right before me, but Schmetz needs to change. It's like, Schmetz is a possession coach and he's a man manager, but he's not a tactical manager. And so it's like, it worked out when we had Lodero and Ruidiaz because we had the firepower to do so. But it's like, what are you doing on the back end? So I don't blame our guys at all. It's totally front office and we need to change. And my thing is that I'm going to the Philly game. I'm flying out to New York tomorrow. We're going to drive over. And I'm wondering, I'm going to Chester. I'm wondering if I should be bringing a Craig out sign. And if you guys sign off on that, then I'm going to do it.
I think you should do whatever makes you happy, but if you do it, get a photo.
Okay, I'm going to do it. I don't think they're going to put me on.
The brigade would probably make you the newest like poster child of the brigade. Like you might actually be able to take over James's position. You might be able to vote James out in a GM style vote.
Is James up for a vote? Is James up for a vote?
Guys, James might be up for a vote.
I'm not testing the brigade. I'm just purely speaking from the heart.
Watch out, guys. We're going to start a mutiny. We're going to start a mutiny.
Careful.
RSL 2.0 is over, and it's not working out. So,
yeah. Caleb just got really excited. Caleb is currently... Should we bring Caleb on just right this second? Because look, he's clapping.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Caleb. Sorry. Okay, no, you're
Caleb,
good.
I love you and I love your takes, but it's not working out. And I appreciate the info you've shared. It's RSL 2.0 and it's over, dog. It's over. So
the well has been poisoned.
My other point, back on the game, everyone looks slow. Like, I looked at this team when we were playing Inter Miami in the Leagues Cup final, and I trusted these guys. But I look at them out on the field right now, and there's nothing. And it's just like, I understand that we're dealing with injuries, but like the passion is not there. And I love that meme of the Chelsea guy. There is no passion. And with all these changes, they sold our young talent. And it's like all this time, Schmetzer was like, we need everybody to get through the season. He has said that. We need everybody. And then they go and sell all of our young talent. And I don't need to list their names, but, Georgie Atencio,
RBW, Danny.
Yes. So I don't know. It's like
God,
what
would
you're
be nice to have
preaching.
RBW tonight.
What you're preaching is not what's happening, and so I feel like there's been a shift, and it's, I'm very pissed. As a season ticket holder since 2009, I was at the Red Bulls game, saw Freddie Montero score. It's like not the same. So we need to sign new talent. And if we're doing anything with the GAM, we need that now. And front of house is the issue. And I would love to see what's happening with the medical staff, because we're not a hospital. We're not a rehab for soccer players. We're a football club. We're not here to provide the best facilities in North America for you to be injured and play 0 minutes this season. So that's all my take is. We need to investigate the front of house, because there's a serious leadership problem. There's a medical issue. All of our good players are on injury list, and I just have no idea what they're doing, because they should have recovered. And now's the time to do it, because we're losing spots on the table. So that's it.
Blake,
well, we appreciate it.
Absolute fire. Thank
yeah,
you for
you
tapping
cooked
in.
there, Blake. In the chat, let's
Appreciate
drop a like on this video if you think you should bring the sign, and comment in the chat if you also think you should
Yeah,
bring the sign.
Craig, I will bring the sign to the Philly game. I hope they put me on TV, but they probably won't.
All right, Blake, thank you so much for calling in.
Appreciate it, guys.
Call in from Philly.
Call in from Philly, yes.
All right, I will.
All right, bye, Blake.
Take care.
All right, DJ, are you ready? It says
we haven't
device
had
not
a-
connected.
We haven't had a DJ call in a minute. We got to get DJ in here.
So DJ, you may have to
connect
leave
your-
and come back, but if you
Connect
do,
your device. Okay,
there
there
we go.
he
We
is.
see
There
you.
he
We
is.
see
There
you.
he is. There he is. Yeah.
You
Good
ready?
DJ. Yeah.
You ready?
He's already talking. He's on mute.
Okay, I'm bringing you on. Can you hear me?
My bad.
No,
Yeah,
you're
my
good.
bad, guys.
You're
My
good.
You're
bad.
good.
Normally, I'd kiss the crest. There's no crest today. I'm extremely disappointed, as I'm sure a lot of fans are today. I won't spend too much time up here. You guys know me, but I just have a couple things to say. One, is Brian gonna get fired? Probably not again. Um, there's no one to replace him, right? That's first and foremost, but also it is very clear that the real issue is with the front office. And I just don't know where the disconnect is. I know Jeremy and Nico and you both have also mentioned this, right? There's no real correlation between how much money you spend and your performance. But I want to believe that, but at the same time, look at where we're spending our money, if at all, right? And we're still not seeing the production. And when we don't have players, when there's such a disconnect between, the starters and who comes in as a sub, we'll see it in the match. And we've seen it in the most recent, few matches as well. So it's like really disappointing to bring on Adira, and he's been amazing, but bring on players who immediately mess up, right? I know Paul Areola kind of got fouled, and yes, he put the ball back in play, but he did get pushed. But it's like you can't make mistakes like that, right? And I think the fans just want to feel excited again, and it doesn't really mesh well with how Brian plays, right? We play a lot of possession based plays, right? Or game. But like when you see LAFC, when you see even like Orlando or Cincinnati, an amazing game, by the way, earlier tonight, they're trying to score. And no one on our team is trying to score. Even someone who was the youngest player to reach 50 goals, right? Jesus Ferreira, nothing, right? And we'll be right in front of goal and people are passing the ball. I think it pisses the fans off. It obviously pisses me off, but like something has to change. So for me, yes, we can use our vote. I'm an Alliance member as well. Will be my third season. Voting Craig out, I don't think won't change anything either. Yes, it will send a message, but like if you're just not going to invest in a team, you need to sell it, right? Let some other billionaire in Seattle some evil billionaire come in so that we can spend money to get players that, bring that excitement back, right?
We
We
want a new
always
oligarch.
have.
We want a new oligarch.
Yeah,
Obviously, yeah,
get us
and
one of these AI tech oligarchs that just bought the
Yeah.
Seahawks. Why can't we get one of those?
Right. And I'm being a little facetious, but it's very clear Adrian has no interest in spending any type of money. And we're selling players that have great production and they're going off and doing great things, right? I'm both happy and sad that we sold Georgie, right? We sold Reed, Baker Whiting. We're selling these players that are fairly good, but they couldn't, become starters or get a lot of, playing time. And now they are, and they're being extremely productive, and we don't have anything to fill that in, right? And now we're feeling the pain of not having Christian on the field, of having Obed on the field, right? And it just sucks. So I'm mad, but like I really don't know what else we can do except complain on Reddit, right? And complain here. So thank you for giving us a platform to do that. Do you guys feel the same way? I mean, I listen to Lobbing Scorchers. I listen to all of the podcasts, actually, but it just keeps on. I think the common thread is that, just because we spend more money doesn't mean we'll get top production. But I think even having a player that may have been a superstar in Liga or in the EPL, even if they're only there for a year, there's actually a conversation on Reddit about this earlier today. Even if they play for a year, right? I think it will bring that excitement back. It just doesn't feel like there's any type of energy. It's just like very sluggish, very low energy on the field. And then we'll lose, right? Or we'll give up, a goal, concede a goal that was very, very preventable. I feel like if we were at least scoring, people wouldn't be as upset, but we're not even scoring either. So would love your thoughts on that. Again, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but it's just really frustrating, man.
No, I mean,
The other thing
that's where
before
we're
you
at.
guys jump in, sorry, I'm guest faculty at the University of Washington. And I used to tell my students, in previous quarters, like, how big of a Sounders fan I am. I still am, but like, I'm sure someone has gone to a game in the, past couple of
Oh no, did we lose DJ?
Oh, he was mid cook too.
I'm still here. Sorry about that.
Oh,
sorry about that.
yeah.
Yeah, my screen went black and I was worried. I'm
It
sure they've
still
seen
is,
the
but we can
match.
hear.
Okay, sorry about that.
You're
But
good.
I'm sure they've seen a match and we're like, my instructor, my adjunct professor lied to me. Like, this is not exciting at all. Right. So like, I don't know what needs to change. All right, I'll stop talking. I would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think so. The whole like spending doesn't matter thing, that's all well and good when you're winning. And that's kind of the point that I've been trying to make, is that there was a long period of time where they were able to say that and they were able to chest thump on that, and they had it was earned confidence, in my opinion, like to a certain extent, because they had the results to back it up. The play on the field was at a really high level, but also like they were winning hella trophies, man. They're the first team to win every single trophy that's available to them. So if you have your method for that's pulling those results, and you want to sit there and say that, then yeah, you can do that. But like, I think what we're seeing is that you toe a dangerous line with that, where if things stop going your way, or you hit a cycle that reaches its end and you have injured DPs and things just start going against you, and you start getting results like we're seeing these last couple weeks, it kind of actually falls apart. And you can't really stand on that. And you're in a situation where now, like, the outside pressure and the sentiment on the fan base is that you're broke, and that you don't care. You're not going to spend money to improve anything, and that you're kind of holding on to past glory. And I think anyone who's arguing that right now has a lot more to stand on than anyone saying like, well, there's no like statistical correlation between spending and winning. But I mean, look at what Inter Miami has been able to do.
Ari,
like
the underlying
as
numbers, man.
I think that whole thing has been misconstrued though, because I mean, with every statistic, right, there's outliers. There's outliers on either end. And the outliers on either end are not deterministic of what this statistical, thing is representing. On one end, you have Inter Miami, who can spend every single penny in the entire world. And like sometimes it makes them better, sometimes it doesn't. So there really isn't a correlation between spending. But when you don't spend any money at all, at all, yes, that's the problem. It's not that you need to be spending Inter Miami money. It's that you just need to spend something. You need to spend a larger chunk of money than what you're spending. You need to go out and be bold and believe that you can sign someone. And maybe that's a $10 million player. Maybe that's a $7 million player. Maybe that's a, something in between. It's not a signing Jesus Ferreira, which was a really good interleague deal. It's doing that and then also spending some money. It's being smart about signing young players, building a roster, doing all of this stuff, being effective. It's just not about, you can't not spend any money. So, and it's not
Absolutely
to defend
agree.
that article or that take or anything like that, because I don't personally agree with it. But if we are taking that quote, it's also just true that on either end, that's the problem, right? It does correlate. There is a correlation. It's just if you're looking at the in-betweens, and this is why I don't like statistics as much, it's just not you have to spend money. And I think me and Ari have both always been on that train of okay, it's time to make a move. And also I think we're kind of realists that it's just not going to happen.
We've parroted our fair share of the built not bought narratives, but I maintain that was founded based on the results. That that they have gotten great results doing that, but right now it's bleak. So maybe what once worked maybe does not work anymore, or that you need to just go into a new era, a new mentality, a new way of thinking of this, because
absolutely
you can't keep going down this road. I think we all agree on that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're hunkering down. Look, I will always be a Sounders fan. It's going to be dark for a while, right? Until we figure out how to move forward. I have two thoughts, maybe more so one. I was not happy that they were, bringing out our young guys to talk to the press when we lost. I think that was very cowardly. That I don't think they did that this match or this match day. So I'm happy about that, but they should never do that again. Right. Especially when our veterans are just not performing. We should not be trotting them out to get completely hammered. And, they have to come up with the wording, right, of we just didn't play well enough or what have you. But the truth of the matter is we're just not playing well at all. Right. So again, I really think that is a Nuhu or a Rusnak type of job moving forward, like people that have been on this team for a while and should know how to field those types of questions, especially if the rest of the team is looking to them for answers on, how to perform better. I'll leave it there. I know the queue's pretty large.
Yeah, we are. We're full house
called
in.
Yeah, I've not called in a while, so I just wanted to show face again. Thank you guys for everything that you're doing. Go Sounders. Guys, it's gonna be tough, but let's continue to support. Oh, this was the last thing. I've met Craig in real life. He's a really good guy, so I know I've been hard on him here. But Craig, you gotta do better, man. Please save us. Do something. Whatever you can do, even if it is show some type of dissent between you and Adrian. I think that goes a long way. But yeah, have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you guys later.
Later, DJ.
Thanks, DJ.
Yeah, I think just real quick on what he was saying there, we skewered them pretty good for sending Snyder out there for a minute 30 after the Portland game. And to be fair, tonight, Albert did come out there.
Because he literally was forced to, because he couldn't drive home, because they have to get on an airplane. But yeah.
Because, whatever, at least he did it. All right.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Better. That is better than the last game.
Yeah. Before Wade, we'll be really quick. We literally got 1 billion super chats. I'm just going to do it really quickly. Run through these. I'm sorry to the super chatters. 2 gems. Thank you for the 2 gems. Derek says 0 shots. Ferreira strikes again. We did already talk about that. Derek, thank you so much for the $2 though. 6 gems. Chili. It just says chili. Don't know what that means, but hell yeah. W Pinata with 1,000 gems from Chad. Let 'em cook with the 750 gems. Press F. There's so many gems. I'm just going to the dollars. Craigslist Weibel. That's a good new nickname. You guys can cook on that one. Thank you, Kenny, for that. 10 more gems. Patrick, thank you for being a member for 15 months. And we just got a $10 dono from Jeremy Keller. It was 90 degrees here in Redmond today, and I didn't even feel like walking outside to get lunch. So I'm willing to cut the team a little slack for doing it as well as they did until the 85th minute.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to say.
Let's bring Wade in to help talk about
okay,
that.
All right.
Wade, you ready? Yep. Oh, you're there. You go. Hey, Wade.
What's up, guys?
The only point I was going to make on this super chat real quick, which was just that, we talked a lot about energy and passion in the Portland game and how it felt like the team wasn't up for the rivalry or a derby of that intensity. And today, I think, especially towards the end of the game, it looked like a slog, like they were running in mud a little bit out there. We should keep in mind that it was 127 degrees out there. You had guys like leaning over in the first half on both teams. Like the end of the first half, both teams looked like they wanted to die. So I did feel like the effort was at least better. Okay. I'm not saying it was like incredible, but it was at least better than we saw in the Portland match, which again, admittedly the lowest bar of all time. But I think I don't want the end of the game and how that looked in elements like that to change how I think of that.
Hey, it was also humid and not a dry heat. Just saying, that's like 10
Texas
times
heat.
worse. Yeah,
Texas heat, yeah.
10 times worse. Yeah, holy crap. Dotson out, please. Like, can we get a real number 6 for once? Like, that is fucking killing us. I don't know how we go from Ozzy Alonso to JP to Hassani Dotson. What the fuck is this bullshit? People just run through our midfield. It used to be you had to go through Ozzy's wheelhouse in order to try to do anything.
Dude, yes.
And people just do whatever the fuck they want to us now. It's total bullshit.
There's no Christian Roldan. There's no Christian Roldan like for like at all.
Nothing. Like we have no CDM to stop anything from going through. Like we couldn't stop the counter tonight. That looked really bad. Man, I really wish we kept Ryan Kent right about now. Because at least we'd have like a legitimate depth piece somewhere. And no, I understand. Like we haven't had we don't have any number 9s or anybody that can score, but we haven't had that all season. Like where, yeah. And everybody's point. I mean, we keep pointing at Craig. Like first of all, yeah, hold a sign up at that Philly game, Craig out 100%. But like, I don't think the guy can build a roster. Like where. You had this whole World Cup cycle to go and try to find somebody or try to find anybody, and you're not making any moves. And we're about to go a 5th year. It looks like somebody put a bet on Kalshi for that. I'll put so much money that we're not going to make a move. Like, yeah, it's just so. It feels like this just feels really down right now, especially after a 5-1 loss, going 4 losses, 2 goals in 4 games. We can't score. Yeah, it just feels like utter shit right now. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. I haven't felt this bad about this team. Yeah, probably since
2016.
2016, and then it was like, holy shit, we did it. Or even 2022.
One MLS Cup that year. They were down worse than this. They were
one signing.
We were last.
They were
dead last.
They're as bad as it is right now. They're in 6th right now. They were in last. They were 6-12-2 that year, and they won MLS Cup. That was worse. That was worse. There's some good cope. There's some good cope for you.
It felt so good hearing Taylor Twellman just shit on us and then having us win MLS Cup. We're like, how is this team going to come back? And we actually pull it out. Yeah.
But remember, one signing changed that entire calculus.
Well, so this year,
let's go get Ryan Kent. That's what I'm saying.
No. This year, people are saying, "Oh, there's no Nico Ladero that's going to come save you. There's no one who's going to be the savior in the middle of the season." How about Noah already knows what I'm about to say. Pedro de la Vega is going to play the Ladero role in 2026. Save the day. Spear the MLS Cup run. It's going to be a 2016 Redux.
That'd be wild. But like,
wait until it happens. It's going to go crazy.
If that happens, I'll get the number 10 tattoo.
I mean, you guys kind of hit on this already, but like, you're not making moves. We have all this GAM and all this money. What are we doing?
Let's talk about the GAM war chest. Yeah, is it just sitting there? Is it in like a safe? Like, can we see it?
They better have a high interest savings account. That's all I'm gonna say.
What's the point of like? So we got rid of what's his name? I think he was on loan from Vissel Kobe, right? That youth international was playing for Defiance. We got rid of him to free up an international spot, but then we sold to international.
Yeah, they fully signed him. They had fully signed him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Never
played. There was another player who was on loan from Vissel Kobe. I think that was a different guy. I could be wrong.
I thought it was him. My bad.
Yeah.
But like, why did we sell 2 international spots and then get rid of this player to free up an international spot? Like, what? I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense. Like, the more I just look at what Craig Weibel does, I just don't think he knows how to negotiate. I don't think he knows how to sell players to come to Seattle to want to play for this sick ass club that wins trophies and makes the playoffs every year and is fucking relevant. And everybody, like, we are literally the envy of the entire league. Like, people literally hate us because they hate us. Like, I don't know like what we're doing with this GM. And like, yeah, it may not do anything to vote him out, but like, it sends a message to at least the ownership, like, you guys got to do better, or just do something. Just do something. That's all I want to see. Just make a move, take a risk, like, do something. And like, I don't know, man. That's kind of where I'm at with it. It's just so disappointing. I guess last thing is, I always tell my friends this because they're not new Sounders fans. They've been fans since like 2014 or 13. But I always tell them like how fortunate we are to have a club that makes the playoffs every year. And we're going to see what it's like eventually when we stop doing that and we stop being relevant. And it's going to be dark days and it's going to be really hard. So like, just enjoy it for now, because like when those days come, it's going to be really, really bad.
It's true. And those days have not really come for this club somehow since 2009, but these things are cyclical. Like, that could just be part of it, man. Like, it's been like a charmed magic carpet ride to this point, but like every team, every club, everybody has downturns eventually.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Maybe that's just where we're at, but I guess we'll find out.
I will say, at least we've never lost MLS Cup final at home, unlike another certain team I know. So
there you go.
Hang our hat on that. By the way, if you ever bring that up to a Timbies fan, they fucking hate it. It's my favorite thing to tell them every single time.
I'm glad we can have a little fun at their expense, because God knows they've been having a lot of fun at our expense. So
yeah, well,
yeah,
they don't win trophies, so I wouldn't.
That is their Super Bowl. That is their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hating on us. So like, we understand. Yeah.
Must be nice.
All right, Wade. Thank
Awesome.
you so much for calling in. We're gonna keep
guys.
pushing here, but
we got to get
guys,
Caleb in here, and then we got a lot.
talk
We got a lot more calls, so let's just keep it pushing. Thank you, Wade.
All right. Caleb, you ready to go? Yeah. All right. How we doing? Real Salt, Caleb in the building. Sticks on the
Wow. That's don't okay. First on record, don't ever say that ever again. Don't ever say that ever again, Noah, because I will rip that mustache off your mouth. Even Ari has more class than you.
Oh, it's true.
And Ari has given me problems. Like, and we've been have our problems, but no, what you just said right there, foul. Foul on you on that one.
Caleb, your agenda has permeated so deeply into the Lobbing Scorchers community that it's seeped outside of just the Lobbing Scorchers community. And I now see it as just like a regular talking point that we are.
You've mainstreamed it. You've mainstreamed the talking point. Not easy to do.
So, I mean, if I may ask, to challenge James, who is the bigger brigader? And who should damn sure be the president? Because to be honest, James, yes, you pull up the valid points, but there's one thing that you just don't bring up that I can bring up is because I've seen 4 to 5 years of Albert personally when he played here. And you have still not brought that up.
You were the OG.
And none of you have brought up. So if you want to really be a absolute brigader, I dare you to challenge the brigade on me on that for your GM spot. Because I would love to absolutely mop the floor with you and actually teach these people a lesson or two. No offense, James. You are still great wise with your words, but I have to just call that what it is, respectfully.
We'll have to take a brigade vote here soon.
I'm kind of on the Caleb for president train. Sorry, James.
Because I mean, okay, and I'm gonna be the how the evil wizard that makes the evil clock spell if something doesn't happen. So I'm gonna be lenient here, and I'm gonna give Craig the lenient hourglass. He has until September when we play his former club at home. That is enough leniency to give it the benefit of the doubt. And if we do not play well against that and have a good record against, especially winning against that team, then we can absolutely pile on the shitstorm. Because you have, like I said, to all you fans, which again, you need to like, share, and subscribe because we still have yet to have more subscribers and people to this thing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to QED Coffee. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please follow the EFG for Forever Glue, Forever Green for the ladies on the new platform too. Let us support our ladies.
Yep, we love our EBF.
We have not given our shout outs when, like I said, to our QED Coffee, Haxon for Men's, and Full Pull Wines.
True.
So when I say that, I mean to say we have really looked at this thing. I'm giving till September because it's until then, because like I said, you guys have been very lenient of giving so much time to these fans, and you've taught me a thing or two about giving leniency and time. So we both have learned something. All of us can learn something.
We're all on a growth path together.
Exactly.
And I am here for that. And like I said, the game, I give it. I'm gonna hold out because, like I said, we are banged up. There still is. I get it. The Pedro de la Vega, which Brian did say he should be in full training next week, but that doesn't mean anything like saying that he's going to get time. But at least that's something I could see, and I'm actually happy to hear about, because for once we could hear that. And then we can absolutely focus on, we could start growing. But at the same time, like I said, if we do not have a good record, and especially if we do not beat Craig's former club, then that really speaks a statement. And do you think that I'm asking you, chat, and I am asking you, Ari and Noah, is that lenient?
I think
that's very
I think
measured.
that's the star on the hill. I think we're going to internalize. That's actually going to be my new thing to look forward to. It's like that's it, because that's a perfect amount of time, right? You get through the whole transfer window, and that's enough time to turn the ship. So I think that's perfect, honestly.
Agreed.
Because to be honest, I think that's because like I said, the leniency of you fans and you people have taught me a thing or two about how to give chances and to really believe and to maybe get my head out of my own ass. So I literally give you guys all the thanks. I give every subscriber and every commentator, everybody that has liked, shared, and subscribed, anybody that has just even listened to me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I cannot thank you enough. It is because of you guys that makes this absolutely, like, that makes me go. Because that's what inspired me to stand up to be Gorilla FC and fight for the justice of what we have to be.
And shout out to Caleb, and shout out to the drum set, and shout out Pedro de la Vega. Thank you for calling in, Caleb. We will see you on the next one, boss.
Appreciate you,
One more
Caleb.
take a little bit. One more take a little bit.
We got to
Just to
keep
close
them
out.
pushing. I'm sorry this time.
Okay.
It's already-
Yeah.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Caleb. We'll
Yeah.
get
Go
you in
ahead.
on the next one. See ya.
I got.
Sorry about that. We're getting late here. All right, Jesus, are you ready?
Get Jesus in here.
Jesus, how are we?
What's
How are
up?
we?
Good, but so far that performance was the worst. And honestly, as a fan for more than a decade, it's been the hardest I ever been. I got the chain for this made during the World Cup, and just for them to play like absolute shit, playing like what happens if you go on the backyard and you play with a bunch of Sunday league unks and you end up just not fighting for nothing.
Man, what was up with the end of that game? Because like I think everything you're saying is true, but like when I go back into my mind, I'm like, you were literally 5 minutes from just winning a road game, and it would have been.
I know, right?
It wouldn't have been that bad. It wouldn't have, and then you just like melt down. You melt down.
I mean, I'll give him the slack. I mean, they played in the hot Texas sun, where honestly, Austin is. I mean, I think an hour away from San Antonio, so. I mean, I know that side of Texas is really bad, and especially
it looked miserable. It looked miserable. Like
you know it was bad when you had fans were doing this the entire 90 minutes of the game, and then, mind you, over here in the Yakima Valley where I'm at, it's hot too. So
hey, I'm in
when I go
Yakima right
outside
now too. Shout out the dry siders. Come on.
Yakima, Crackama, can never
Let's go.
Get enough of it. But my take on this, and my take is that I see nothing but dark days coming, but we need to get our head out of our asses. It's pretty much how as Caleb was saying. I mean, the Rios Craigslist Weibel is not beating the RSA allegations. Just like Mbappe is not beating the dictator allegations.
Yeah, exactly.
We need a new dictator. We need Mbappe. Mbappe for GM. Mbappe for GM.
And then, honestly, all I gotta say is just I'll bring a sign that says Craigslist out, or if I get thrown out of the stadium, just like how the Dallas Mavericks did that last year when Luka got traded. If you remember that. And then you have Adrian Hunter Glazers. Yeah, you have the Adrian Hunter Glazers still glazing him. Like,
it is. We're anti-oligarch on this pod. I will say I did glaze him in person one time, but because I was trying to get him to come on the podcast mainly, which I just don't think he's ever going to do that, unfortunately. But I did compliment his shoes, and then 10 minutes later, he went into the Sounders locker room and screamed at them for wearing "Pay Us More Money" shirts. So that was fire. I was glad to be a part of that because he was steaming.
Oh, I was at that game. That was my first game. A fun fact.
He was super steamed on the sidelines, and I could tell. And I was like, you know what I'm gonna hit him with? Yo, sick shoes.
Sorry to interrupt, Noah. Was that the Minnesota United game last year?
No,
it was the World Cup.
No, I think it was Minnesota. It was right before the
because I was there at the time, man.
Oh my God, the Monopoly shirts, the Monopoly shirts.
The Monopoly shirts.
Funny, that shit was so funny. That was a great moment in club history. It really was.
Greatest moment in club history. And also, to everybody who's not subscribed, are you a real Sounders fan or what?
Yeah,
That's
come
what
on.
I'm saying.
I know there's
That's
people
what I'm
watching that
saying.
aren't subbed.
Yeah.
All of you watching on
Please-
Twitter, apparently there's a bunch of you. Sub to the YouTube.
Please subscribe to this channel, leave a like and comment, because they're giving us a platform that I think no else team has. You have NYRB, aka New York Red Bulls, a historic club in the MLS. Do they have a platform to export their grievances? No.
Happy foot, sad foot. Happy foot, sad foot.
The LAFC guys do it, but that's
we're pretty much the only two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're
And
better.
thank you guys for giving such a great platform to the Sounders community. I mean, I'm always on Facebook and looking at the group chats and all that, and I just ignore it. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just go to the safer spot.
That's what we're here for, man.
That's what we're here for. Well, Jesus, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you calling in. Shout out Yakima.
Thank you so much. Thank
Best
you.
place
I
in the
mean,
whole
I lived here
world.
for my entire life, and if you see a bunch of people that are coked out or something on some type of whatever, it happens a lot here, and
Just keep it, but you're like,
Sorry
just
about
keep
that.
it pushing. You'll be good. You'll be good.
You'll be pushing. But go
My dad's
Sounders,
from
Sounders
here,
till I
so
die.
that's why I'm a little bit of a crackhead too. So it's all good. There you
Oh,
go.
makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, but Sounders till I die. And thank you guys for having me. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys on Saturday.
See you soon.
Appreciate
Jesus.
you, Jesus.
Shout out
All right.
Yakima.
Shout out
Yakima.
Dry Siders.
Yeah. All right, Nat, are you ready?
Got Nat, Hunch, Timbo, and Nate, and then that's it. No one else
Nate,
calling.
you're the final caller. We're not taking any more.
Yeah, honest, straight up after Nate. Like, if you do tap in, we're not going past Nate, so no one else calling.
Yeah. Nat, welcome to the stream. Before you say that you want to leave Stu Hawkins in Texas, I want to defend. I think Stu Hawkins played well, and I disagree with that take. Now I'll hand it over to you.
Well, I actually want to. I've said enough in the chat how I feel about Stu Hawkins. I've said that in the future. I've said, and yeah, I mean, he's played worse in past games.
Set up a goal.
He's our worst. He's still the worst player on our team. Yeah.
I think it's a crazy take based on how much he's played, which is barely at all. But we all have our agendas.
He shouldn't have been signed. So okay, but I need to. But when I come on here normally, I feel like I am one of the biggest defenders of Jordan Morris and Jackson Reagan, and both of these guys. Jordan, where are you right now? Why haven't you said anything recently? He should have been out front and center. I know if he's injured, I know that is tough. That is tough. But come on, we have not heard from you in forever. You are getting, where are you? Except sitting on your giant stack of money that you're getting paid right now, because he's getting paid too much. And at this point, like, me as a Jordan Morris defender is like, you either got to retire, dude, or you got to take less money, because this is ridiculous. You gotta, bro. We think of him as like Mr. Sounder, or like our local Seattle kid, and he was incredible when he came in 2015, and then he did stuff in 2016, 2019. He is not the same dude, but he used to, during those years, he would talk about himself, or he like would talk about the moment. About like, it's so awesome that I'm like playing for my local club, and I'm so excited to be here, and I care so much. And he used to still do that, and he was doing that when he got injured the second time. And we've gotten so many documentaries about Jordan Morris about after every injury, and it's like, it's so important to me. He's been so quiet this entire World Cup time in this season. So Jordan, come out, say something, please. And then Jackson Reagan. Jackson Reagan is the only person on the Sounders roster who was selected for the All-Star game. We have one representative, and it is Jackson Reagan. And that guy just got sent off with one of the stupidest red cards imaginable. Yeah, it is. You are on a yellow card. What are you doing, though? It's so bad. He is suspended up into the... Yeah, technically he should be suspended for the All-Star game.
Until
yeah.
Why does
he get to play in the All-Star game and then be suspended?
He should be suspended for the All-Star game. That would be tight. I liked when Albert
he's
was
suspended through the rest of MLS play.
when
until we go into Leagues Cup.
When Albert was like, well, you know, he already was on yellow card accumulation, so he would have been suspended for the next game anyway. I was like, that's not the point.
There's two now. And God knows he could get an extra game. It was a reckless challenge.
It's a really stupid tackle, and they might give him another game.
He gets 2 games. It's not doesn't roll.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought that what they were saying, that what Rusnak was saying was like, no, man, like it's
I'm pretty sure they stack.
Okay, tight. That's even better. That's what this position group needed, is for him to get suspended for 2 games for that.
To be fair, that's not confirmed, but we will figure that out. I'll find that out.
about the All-Star game also, just about that, like, I was just thinking, like, who should be our one representative? I mean, like, I feel like our one representative for right now has to be Rothrock, since he's the only one scoring. Like, if anyone on our team would deserve to represent the Sounders, because it's still crazy we're in 6th. We are going to make the playoffs this year, which is terrible because the front office is going to continue with getting away with what they're doing. We're going to make the playoffs this year.
See, we averaged 1.58 points per game.
We're still in 6th.
Still not bought.
Austin is still in second to last in the Western Conference. Like, we're still drastic. Like, we're still a drastic.
Oh my God, that team is so bad, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, allegedly,
they deserve to win today.
No,
They deserve to win today. They were so much better than us. We looked horrible, and like people have been saying, like we watched the what the guy two ago, Wade was saying about how, like, yeah, like, teams hate us because they ain't us. It's true. Like, people come out for the games against the Sounders because, and like, when we go play away, usually there's usually a lot more home fans because people know the Sounders are good and they have good players and exciting players. Right now, we don't have exciting players coming to town, and it's just easy for teams to go in. Even like MLS Today, the Instagram is still posting about us like it is like the normal Sounders, when like we're so much worse than what we normally are, and it's so frustrating. Jackson's got to do better. And I got to, last thing I'll say here, because I've said enough about Morris and Reagan. Like, please come out and say something. But Weibo, back to what people were saying about Weibo. Like, Weibo, everyone keeps saying, like, he seems like such a nice guy. So it feels so people are like, we need there to be a big change. And Weibo might be the guy who the club is gonna throw under the bus, and the fans are feeling like, oh, but he's so nice. So do we want him to do that? So with that being said, like, I want to root for Weibo because he is a nice guy. And with that, Weibo, come out, take a stand against Hanauer, and be like, guys, I'm trying to go find. You have nothing to lose at this moment. You are either going to get fired that way in like a hostile stuff, and like
go down swinging.
You'll be remembered that way.
Burn the bridge.
If not, he's not going anywhere. What team is hiring after that? Maybe like
he'll get it's a boys club. You get like an assistant, whatever. He'll go somewhere.
He's not getting a better job than this. He's going either to the USL Championship, or he's gonna go to, like, I don't know, one of the bad MLS teams like DC United, who doesn't care. I don't know. Like, guys, we're still not them. Like, we're gonna make the playoffs, but like, still, like, take a shot, Weibo. Like, come on, make people remember you. Most people don't know who he is. No one knows what his name is.
I like this take. Leave a legacy.
Yeah,
leave a legacy, dude.
People still think our GM is Garth Lagerwey, probably, because people at least know who that is. No one knows who Weibo is, but outside of us and RSL fans.
I hear Garth's looking for something to do.
Yeah, maybe he finds the sauce again from failing at Atlanta.
Who knows?
That would be like the USMNT hiring Berhalter again if we bring back.
What do you think the fan base reaction would be if they fired Craig Wives but then brought Garth back?
It would be really interesting, because he did win, or he did come and we won MLS Cup.
Oh, he was goated. This team couldn't stop winning when he was here.
Dude, he was addicted to winning.
He couldn't do anything but win. He didn't know how to do anything but win.
If he came back and then Hanauer left, the brigade would go nuts. Like, the fans would go absolutely nuts. If it's like, oh, okay, Hanauer's gone, Garth is back. He was the guy who came in. We won trophies. He starts spending money. That would be an amazing timeline. There's no way that's happening. Anyway. All right,
I
guys.
was unclear in my research about if yellow card accumulation does count.
People are saying it's confirmed 2 games.
Like, I did, but I saw information that was opposite of that, so I reached out to a couple of our MLS point of contacts to confirm that, and we'll make a social media post about that later on.
Yeah.
Well, Nat, any
yeah,
final
it's been
thought?
great. It's been great. I am still wondering why David Goss hasn't said anything about Vermont Green losing a final to Salmon Bay FC.
Goss, we're calling you out.
Yeah, David Goss. What did you guys had to say something bad about the color green? Like, I feel like he should have to say something.
Yeah. We did make
come
a
on.
bet in the last, and we lost.
Yeah.
We
so
lost.
let's fix that.
All right.
All right.
David
Anyway.
Goss, I will be giving you a phone call tomorrow and harassing you. So get ready. All right, Nat. Thank you so much for calling in. We're gonna finish it out here. We appreciate you as always, and
Have a good night. Go
happy
Salmon Bay.
Day. Happy Salmon Bay
Let's
Day.
go.
Happy Salmon Bay Day.
Yep.
Later,
All
Nat.
right. Hunch, will you start this call while I use the bathroom?
Yeah, I got you.
Literally have had to pee for like at least an hour. So
Go for it. Go for it. We got Hunch on stage right
What up?
now. Hunch, it's another L. It's a 3-1 at Austin FC. The squad is spiraling. The vibes are bad. The GM's under fire. The owner's under even more fire. The people are upset. It's a disaster. It's a debacle. What do you think? What's going on?
Man, I'm tired. I'm just tired.
Of the team or just in general or both?
I mean, yeah. Like, there's so many things. There's so many
things.
So I think back like more than 10 years ago, even going to the games, I would come back home sometimes that same day, maybe the next day, and I'd rewatch the match because we'd go down, but we'd come back fighting, and it was exciting to watch. I haven't been able to rewatch any matches in like the last 2 years, with the exception of like the Cruz Azul.
What I do when they play really well and they win and they're doing well is I'll just abuse the highlights. I'll watch them like 500 times. Like I definitely not doing that with these last two games. I'm never watching the highlights, I think, of either of those games.
No, I'm not. Definitely not. And yeah, I mean, it's just, where is that? So we just went to Austin. We talking about, a double rotation. We faced this exact scenario 2-3 years ago. We played the youngest squad the MLS has ever seen on a starting formation on the field and won.
Yeah, and then brought Raul Ruidiaz off the bench to bam a 50-yarder on their head and win in their stadium. And it was that's what this team used to do, stuff like that.
Yeah,
in this scenario.
Where's that fighting spirit? Like where are those players? Where's that coaching staff that's making that recommendation? Oh wait, we keep selling all that young talent. That's what's happening. We're selling both ends of this. Which, by the way, they've already sold the international spot from Tusokonomi to DC United for $75,000 in 2029.
Sick. I can't wait for the 75,000 in 2029 to take the field for his MLS debut.
Well, to be fair, Yu Sukunome wasn't playing, and he is older than Jesus Ferreira, so that 128,000 in game we're gonna get for selling his slot. I mean, kind of smart if you think about it.
But yeah, I'm just not seeing the fight. What the other thing I'm not hearing, although at least I'll say it's honest. Brian is even saying, like, I don't know. Everything is wrong. There's not enough fight. There's not enough intelligence. There's not enough plays on the ball, off the ball, shooting, defending. It's all wrong. It's basically what he said in the post here. But what I'm not hearing from necessarily, well, he did say it's on him, but I'm not hearing from like the other players or anything else saying like, I'm accountable and I'm going to make sure we get ourselves out of this. Like, I'm not seeing any leadership from the team. Like, no one's stepping up to say it. And the thing that really drives me crazy is this team, these players have had a pretty freaking charmed life being at this club for this many years because they don't get negative press. They don't get negative pressure like they're getting now. It's not like they've been dealing with this for 4, 5, 6 years. Like, there's no reason they shouldn't be stepping up and saying something to the lines of like, we don't like this either. We're going to do something about it. They're shirking it. And that comes from leading by example, in my opinion, from the field. And yeah, Christian and Steph and all that. But those guys, no offense to them, have one foot out the door. Like, less of their careers in front of them, or more of the careers behind them and less is in front of them at this point. And we don't know where this is going.
Oh God, that is just.
I just
terrible to
immediately
see.
opened my phone because I needed a little hit of dopamine, and this is just immediately what popped up. And now I'm like, I'm just gonna actually stop now. Cody Baker in a Revs jacket. I can't do it.
Hunch, did you see the press conferences tonight?
I was watching the channel here. Yeah.
So, like, what did you think of their answers? Because listening to you talk it through right there, I think, like, for most of it, I kind of came to the conclusion that we were talking about of, like, what do you even really say in this type of situation? Like, it's not like, and I think Rusnak even said, there's nothing that I can sit here and say that's going to fix this. Like, we have to go out on the field and fix it. And that's pretty much as simple as it gets. But there was a little bit, even from Rothrock, who, like, we love and we appreciate the fact that he comes out there. But they were both kind of saying they took exception to the notion that this game was as bad as the Portland game. And there was a little bit of like, man,
I thought my question was good. I thought my question was the best.
We couldn't
one,
hear
by
it,
the way.
Noah. So I didn't hear it exactly. I heard
but
you
like
describe it afterwards, we didn't know it.
there was a little bit of like, it was a lot better than the Portland game, and we just have a lot of stuff going against us right now, and we're gonna like get out of it. And it's like, and I was feeling like this listening to the USMNT guys rap as well, where they were talking about like, we're pretty happy with how the World Cup went. Like, yeah, bad last game, but it was pretty good or whatever. And I'm kind of, am I a boomer for wanting just someone to be like, no, fuck this, man. This isn't good enough. This sucks. This isn't good enough for the fans. We hate this. Like, I like say something like that. I don't know. Like,
well, so that traditionally would come from your captain, and no offense, but Nuhu's not a captain.
He's not like the media guy like that.
Well, it's not media, nothing. No one on the team is looking on during the game on the field at Nuhu to like, what do we do? Like, are you gonna start the engine here? What's gonna happen? Well, he's probably gonna flip off the ref and get sent off with another red card is what's gonna happen. And I don't blame him. Like, coach is like, okay, he's been here 300 games. Okay, fine. But that's, if the guys on the field need a leader to dig them out of hard situations, you need someone who's behaving at least like a Rothrock. And I mean, a couple things. You hear the old statement, nature abhors a vacuum, meaning if they're devoid of leadership, it will fill itself eventually. It'll come from somewhere. And you may not like it when it does, meaning the players, the coaches, whoever. But you leave it long enough, something's going to happen. Something's going to change, and it could be counter to what. Me. The other thing, well, back to your point of the press conference, I like, and this is the worst thing that somebody doesn't know what they're doing. I disagree with the question. What? A question? A question's a question. It's not a statement. It's a question. Like, answer the question.
Well, to be fair, there are some people who do ask statements, but I don't think the question that was asked in that
it wasn't
press conference was a statement.
No.
So you're completely right.
And the first guy, he came out on fire. That's the first couple questions.
You could tell he got thrown off by Rusnak. Rusnak like challenged him, and then I've been there where a player's been like, "What are you talking about?" And then I'm like, I freeze. I'm like, "Oh, I don't even know."
Like, yeah. Well, it was something like spiraling. And Jo said similar. It's like, what are you going to do to prevent this? And then it was pointed out that at the last game, it was stated that we'll judge us by our next results, judge us by our response.
That was my question.
That was what Noah asked. That's what.
So it's like, well, 3-1 loss. Are we trending in the right direction because we're losing by less? Are we going to lose 2-1? Are we going to see that as a success in the next game? It's like, well, it was 5, now it's 3, now it's 2. We're going the right direction, guys. What?
That's what I'm talking about, though. There was a lot like they were like, well, no, we were a lot more competitive in this game. It was back and forth. It was 1-1 till the very end. But it's like, yeah, but then you melted down, got a red card, and conceded 2 more goals. So
yeah, there was no excuse for that. I actually predicted pretty much late in the first half, and I should have put it out, that Jackson was going to get frustrated and get a second yellow. And I even thought, if I'm him, I would have done it much earlier, because I was like, just send me out of this game. Like, I don't care. And the thing is
it's hot as shit. It's
it's also, I give up. And I know there's nothing else that this staff or this team's going to do to dig us out of this. So just whatever. That is a sign of not the mentality, but the spirit or lack thereof that this team has right now. And I'm not trying to like throw gas on the fire here, but this looks like 2016. The team is acting like they did in that year, which, by the way, you pointed out that we made that one signing and got Ladero. The other thing that, and if you want to give Gar some credit, that's a 1-2 punch. That was the season we lost Obafemi 2 days before the season started, too. So he, in 6 months, went from losing Obafemi to gaining Ladero.
Yeah.
Do you think this front office is capable of either of those moves? No. I mean, come on. And I don't blame it all on Craig. I think he's out of his depth, but I think he's also out of his resources. Like,
yeah, that's a tough position to be in, being already maybe out of depth and then additionally not helped by any of those, like anything else.
Well, he may have spent all his cards signing De La Vega, and since that has basically imploded.
That was a great signing, and it's really fun to watch him play in the 15 minutes that he does. And Ari still
he's coming back for his
season,
matters, which is the Leagues Cup, and then he'll be done again.
Yeah, exactly.
In about a month and a half.
Look, I'm not even
the best Leagues Cup signing of all time.
I'm not even trying to be like the believer on that. I'm just saying that that's all there is. That's all we have to like. Like I understand why you dismiss it offhand because of like the track record, but like what else is there? If you were to craft the case in your mind of how to get out of this, what other case could you craft other than him being a key character?
Well, so is it already elimination? I don't really remember Leagues Cup. Like I cared about what we wanted, but I don't know anything else about it. Yeah. Is it elimination from the jump?
It's
win and move on, or is it group stage
thing where
it's the big it's the big group thing. Like there's one group of like 20 teams, there's another group of like, or no, it's just done by league.
No, it's only a certain number of leagues can. It has to be even, and you only play. Yeah, it's so.
So we can't lose the first game and be out.
No.
Because that's the way you get Pedro de la Vegas. We just bomb out the first game and save his minutes for MLS.
Statistically, if they lose that first game, it's really hard for them to be able to come back and actually qualify for the next round. That is true.
If the format's the same as it was last year, if you get waxed in your first game, you are effectively chalked. And you're not actually chalked, but you're effectively chalked. And the Sounders, like, they got first place out of 36 teams in that last year. So apparently Leagues Cup gods, I guess. But
they were undefeated, as they like to tell you.
Yeah.
So is it 3 games before the decision's made?
Yeah.
And are we playing all away? I don't even know.
No, only one is away.
Okay.
The league only one Leagues Cup, but the 3 games before that, 2 are on the road.
Yeah.
So if we do get banned in this first game, we could get 2 lame duck matches here in Seattle.
That'd be kind of sick.
Yeah. The Chivas game will be something.
Yeah, at least we have Jimothy. Man, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, they burn the candle at both ends. They've sold their youth. They're not signing anybody else. It's like this is a regression to the means. Like, and this is 2 years in the making. Like, that said, it's only the 4th loss in the season, and given they started so well, it's like, it's not scorched earth, but it's not freaking good, and they flushed away. I think that's the thing. That's the thing for the last 3 years for me, is if they just had that 1 or 2 piece more, what they could have done with what they already had would have been like domination. Like they could have been the caliber of what they look like and tout to be with just those 1 or 2 more pieces, and just really, I mean, we may have pulled another MLS Cup in that time, but we're on that like treading water. Keep it just as long as you can breathe, as long as you can float, as long as you can tread. That's what they're happy with, and it's not fun. It's not fun.
It's not fun. Hunch.
Yep.
Do you have anything else? I think
no. I'm good, man. I know it's been a long one, but as somebody has stated, it's so important to have these post game. Like it really is. It builds community and it commiserates. It lets people vent. And let's people point out the positives.
Hopefully, I think this is the darkest time that we've had to cover since we started this show. Yeah. But my hope would be that like it can act as a place of respite.
Dude, that 5-hour live stream we did after Leagues Cup was one of the most euphoric moments of my entire life.
But see, moments like that would not hit the same if we didn't have to deal with shit like this. If you were just like on the high the whole time, then like you wouldn't appreciate it as much. This is such cope, but like I think there is some truth to it.
But it's an analogy for the game overall. Like you could be in a 0-0 tie for whatever duration, and then suddenly you score, and it's your pure euphoria, and then you give up a goal 90 seconds later, and you're right back down to where you were. But you just know there's the possibility you could score again. It's right there. You're just waiting for it because you know what both sides of it are. So, it's a microcosm for what it's, the whole overall situation. So, like I said, I appreciate it. It's just been a gut punch between the U.S. crashing out like they did, and now these two games.
I was thinking
vibes
about
are
that
down.
too, like the back-to-back at Lumen Field of the U.S. crashing out like that, and then the Sounders getting waxed by the Timbies like that. That's just a tough scene.
Yeah, it's not been good, and it's gonna be a while before we have another home game. So, thanks, guys.
That's the truth.
Thank you, Hunch.
All right, Hunch.
Appreciate
Thanks
you,
for
man.
calling in. All right, Nate, you are up, and then Timbo, you were in the queue. You just had to drop out.
Yeah, we'll get Timbo in. We'll get Timbo in. Nate and Timbo,
we're
and
gonna
then
get you in, Timbo, because you've been here. All right, you ready?
Yeah, Nate. Oh, okay.
Welcome.
Yeah. And then Nate.
Welcome, Timbo.
Hey,
Sorry,
what's going
Timbo.
on, boys?
We're doing Timbo for you've been here. You got
my stuff reloading and stuff has been. I'm dropping in, dropping out.
Yeah.
You're good. Timbo 3-1 L Austin FC, 4th straight loss. The squad's in shambles. The crash out red card boys are back. It's a disaster. It's a debacle. What's going on?
Why didn't we get the crash out boys last game? That's what I was asking for.
That would have been a better time to do it.
A better time frame to do it. Yeah, on Jackson Reagan and it's really unfortunate. It's a really unfortunate error. And I think a lot of the defense has been put on him with Yamar being out, but now he's out now too. So I'm not really looking forward to seeing Tino Lopez back in, but there's always opportunity to not get destroyed by Philly. They're not a good team in the East right now, but Sullivan Brothers are going to be back. I mean,
they are the worst team in the league, numerically.
So, well, we have not been winning against teams at least on the table below us like we should be, and that is what it is. It kind of speaks to a larger problem. I don't think Brian's responsible for this. I know that people were kind of well, he made these changes and then the game changed. Yes, that's true, but I think Paul Arriola coming in, I honestly thought they made subs to go win the game for both Austin and the Sounders at that point. And it's a 1-1 game. We're bringing in some heavy hitters and Paul Arriola, and then he does a stupid giveaway. And Brian spoke to it in his press conference too. I know there's going to be a conversation before Philly between him and Paul about what the brought you in there to go win it for us.
You have more pedigree,
right?
You've been around the block.
Right. This is a guy who has been a star in the league, has been on the U.S. men's national team. What are we doing? But I think the other frustrating thing I saw in that play was they brought on KKR, and it seemed like he was just standing there, and they kind of went through him to a certain degree too. And that's something I don't expect to see. I really think he plays better than that, but I don't know if that's why he's on the bench too, to a certain degree, right? I felt like the two guys we brought on kind of shit the bed, whereas they brought on Christian Ramirez, who was a great signing for Austin, based on the fact that Ramirez came off, I think there was a cap issue with LAFC. They pick him up. He's done good things, did great things for them tonight. I think controlling they were playing smarter ball to a certain degree, and I think that's just frustrating to see too, because we have those caliber of players. They're all around the league, and ours didn't show up or haven't been showing up, at least most of the veteran side. I want to hear more from Paul Arriola too. I don't want to hear from Paul Rothrock. I want to hear from Paul Arriola about what was going through your head when that play, you need to clear the ball, or what were you thinking, kind of situation.
I think on that note, it's time to give Paul Rothrock the captain armband.
I was just thinking that,
I think
if you're going to send him out during after all these losses to answer for it when he's actually playing well,
he's the most eloquent. He is the most die for the badge guy. He fights for his teammates. He gets up in people's faces. Maybe he doesn't have as much pedigree and status as everyone else, but he's what you want in a captain. He can bring his guys back. I think it might be time to think about it.
Definitely Sounders till I die kind of player, and that's we've seen, even when I saw him walking off the field last week, like he just looked dejected. Like it looked like somebody had stabbed him in the back and he had to, essentially walk off the field. It's yeah, I totally agree. I'm not gonna hold Nuhu too close to the fire on this one. I think he had cramps and stuff, and like it's hot. And that's the other thing. People were asking about why Brian got the yellow card. There's an issue with the line judge getting Nuhu back on the field at some point. Like they brought medical attention over to him because I trying to get magic spray or cramps or whatever resolved, and they held him off longer. And there was a big kerfuffle about that. And I think that's how Brian went over to the fourth and said something about it.
Oh, maybe
And I
that
think
was
that's
it. Yeah.
That's how Brian got the yellow, which is very usual for Brian. But I'm glad to see it. Like I'm glad to see Rusnak cussing tonight. I'm like we might need to get a little bit nasty here to fucking get some positives going. What else do I want to say on Sukanome? Like, why don't we try him at number 9? Like, we cut him this week, but maybe he's the
He
guy
got
you
a
put in.
total of 0 minutes.
Signed
Thank
him
you for your
never.
service. Wants a
Signed him
sounder.
never played and then cut.
Like, give the
He
kid,
was an interesting
give the kid a
character.
chance.
He was 25 and he had not had any real starting minutes. He was really good in Next Pro, but seemingly
I saw him
couldn't
play
cut it.
well for the Defiance. Yeah,
He
goals for the
seemingly
Defiance.
couldn't cut it in training and stuff with I don't know. I don't know what it was, but
okay. I mean, yeah, like that's a thing too. I mean, really would love to have. Let me look at this list here. Okay, I'm gonna go down the list. Georgie, RBW, Atencio, Leva, Vargas.
Georgie's
Bacon.
been average though, to be fair.
In fairness, I mean, we can bring up Leo Chu, who's back in Brazil. Like there's other guys.
Give me Danny Leva. Give me Danny Leva. That's the biggest
Absolutely.
one for me.
I
Danny Leva in this double pivot.
Definitely better than Dotson. Has way more experience than Dotson. It seems like.
Ari's smirking like that would suck still.
No, sorry. I accidentally put my cursor over our stream on a different tab, and it just was the Chelsea guy yelling.
I'll let you guys get to him though, because that has been a nice opening and closing. It's very therapeutic.
Yeah, we got to throw him on for the outro.
Tillamook ice cream still works. Unfortunately, it does make me feel a little bit better after these games. And then I guess the last thing, totally unrelated, but y'all should go see the Odyssey on IMAX. I saw it today.
I want to.
I need to go see it.
I got emotional. You'll feel good about a captain of a team. I know it's kind of like that's a little.
You know what?
Leader
Brian needs to take the team to go see the Odyssey on IMAX.
We are
Philly
cooking
before that.
Cooking.
That is a brilliant idea.
Team bonding and inspiration all in one fell swoop.
I think they should get to Philly a little early. It is a 3-hour movie, so just be prepared. But
it's an Odyssey. The Odyssey.
It definitely. I don't generally go see movies, like go to the theaters anymore. I don't think a lot of people do, but this is one I will say out to Sounders Nation and Brian and the team. Go see the Odyssey. Make it a team event. It'll be a good thing.
Love it.
Well, thank you for that Odyssey, Timbo. We appreciate
you, Timbo.
We'll see you next time. Be good.
Yeah, see you next time.
All right, Nate, are you ready to close us out?
Nate, you're closing down the house. Turn your camera on.
I'm ready. I don't have a camera. Sorry.
You're good. I thought you might have had it off, but yeah.
No. So I felt like tonight was kind of a rehash of some of the issues from last season where Jesus and Albert kind of want to play the same position, where Jesus kind of wants to come inside more. There's no real vertical threat on that right-hand side. And obviously normally we compensate for that with the fullbacks coming up. But, as soon as that doesn't work perfectly in our favor, there's just no attacking threat from out wide on the right. And it feels like it tilts the field super far towards the left-hand side. Paul Rothrock kind of carrying that burden. Obviously tonight it was the heat that was the issue. You just can't send your fullbacks up and down the line for 90 minutes straight there. So did you guys kind of see that while you were watching the game? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly an issue. And we were also talking about like the one dimensionality of that. Like have they scored a single goal this season that's not Paul Rothrock crashing the far post? Like
I don't think so. Yeah,
there's a couple of penalties.
It feels like every time they score, it's the same way, and that's usually a sign that other teams are going to be able to hone in on that and either stop that, or it's like, you might get a goal, like one goal in a given game like they did tonight, but you're not going to be able to consistently score like that. Like, you have to be able to hurt teams in multiple ways. Right now it's spamming Rothrock down the left, which I'm in favor of that, but like, you got to have something else in the bag.
Yeah, it just feels like with him and with Ferreira and Rusnak on the field, they just want to occupy the same spot, and it's just not working. So,
which they had gotten better about that. It's kind of frustrating to see it backslide. I feel like it was looking a lot better, really, up until these last few weeks. They had, I thought, figured out how to coexist, but apparently not.
Yeah, honestly, with how good KKR's looked on the overlap, like, I think it's time to try him out at right wing there, see what he can do.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
also
just pick.
They've run him out there a couple times. They did last year, and it looked kind of good.
Yeah, he's got the sauce. He looks like he can, he's a threat to do guys 1v1 and then, hit that pullback to the spot for whoever's crashing.
And I think he's limited defensively as a right back like that. And I think that got exposed against the Timbies. Like, he's very athletic. He's very fast. He's very talented at attacking, but he's not like a lockdown defender right back like Alex Roldan or like Nuhu is at left back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I liked what Pete did today. So I thought he looked good.
I thought Peter Kingston was the best.
Why did he get subbed out?
That was insane. Was he just tired? Did he not?
Oh, I think he might have been cramping. Yeah,
probably a match fitness or a tiredness thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see that on the right-hand side.
He did technically get an injury sub, so I think he was.
Pete, this is my agenda of the moment. Like, Pete's a starter. I don't care if you have to put him at right back or if you move him into the double pivot or if you put him on the wing, which is, I think, where a lot of people who watched him play in his like earlier career think that that's actually his best position, I think. But like, it's a mentality thing. He's fighting for his career right now to like be an MLS player. So he's never going to go out there and not give everything. And I thought like I don't question his effort in this game.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. I think all the young guys look, at least good enough to keep getting starts. But some of the guys who are on like premium roster slots, Hassani Dotson, I'm kind of over. Ariola, I have a little bit more patience for him because he's had good moments and everything. But it's just like, if you're taking up one of those spots and you're not performing, like, I don't know, get ready to learn the bench.
Completely agree. Anything to close us out here, Nate, before we go? I appreciated your tactical analysis and genuine like pure takes on this match. I felt like that was a nice closer here to kind of sober us up from all the emotion.
No, I appreciate that. And I love the Rothrock shout for captain. I think he's one of the only guys in the roster right now who's like living up to his contract. So, how do you reward him? Give him the armband.
Signed an extension for $500K a year, and he's still outperforming it.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy. Well, Nate, thank you so much for calling in and closing out the show for us. You rock, and hopefully you'll call in on our next one.
All right, yeah. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Yep. See ya. Woo! Marathon stream. And Ari, let's finish out with these super chats, and then we're done. This was basically as long as our Timber stream. So we've been cranking these out. And if you're appreciating
honestly, yeah, like I think with this kind of not unprecedented, but they haven't struggled like this in like a decade. So the fact that everyone is so locked in and engaged and keeping us going for a 3-hour post-game stream, like, shout out to you guys. Like, we only do these for as long as we have callers. And the fact that you all just feel so passionately about this team and wanting to get your takes out there and voice your agendas and grievances, like we love it, man. Like, that's what we're here for. So
absolutely love it. Well, we've got some I've enjoyed this new gems thing.
I just want to know what they is it like. If it's just like gems that don't do anything, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, I think we get money. I think we get money from them. But
Okay.
So give us some more gems. Disc Golfer, thank you for being a 19-month member. I feel like we haven't had a disc golfer call. In a
Yeah,
while.
Disc Golfer, call in next time.
Call in. We miss you. We love you. I don't know who's at fault right now, but something does have to change before I want to spend money on this club again. That's very fair. I think there's a lot of people.
Common sentiment, and like if they don't want to, if they want to dismiss this as like ungrateful fans who are not giving enough equity to the trophy case and don't know what they're talking about, and you want to flex built not bought and thumb your nose, you can do that. But eventually, if it keeps going like this, people are gonna feel like that and not want to spend the said money. Like, I think it's funny that the season ticket renewals went out the same day as the Timbies game. Like okay, guys, like. Not going to tell you how to run it, but
careful.
Yeah,
I agree. And if you don't want to give the Sounders money, but you want to still be involved in supporting soccer, there are plenty of other opportunities to do that, including becoming a YouTube member with Lobbing Scorchers, or you can check out, we're doing a new project at lobbingscorchers.com. Hint, hint, if you made it through all the way, go there, check it out. Just maybe sign up for the email to know when that gets launched. But also, watch our videos, like our videos, drop us some gems or whatever. So there's other ways, but I think that this is like withholding your season ticket deposits and this vote on the GM. It's going to be a tough time for ownership over the next few months. We got 1,000 gems. We got a corgi with 1,000 gems. And Greg says, thanks for your show and providing a place to vent. It's as much cathartic for us as it is for you guys. So we appreciate getting to just spend some time in the community of awesome, like-minded people.
It makes the L's a lot not as bad.
It really does. Like, it's kind of the best. And last but definitely not least, 2 recycled organs. At least we still have Jimothy. And that's that. Thank you all for watching. Oh, there's one more? Oh, we just got another one.
We got a 10 bomb to close it out.
10 bomb to close it out. Few bucks for y'all. Thanks for the catharsis after these rough nights. Some hopium. Roldan will shake up the vibes when he's back on the pitch again. I believe in Captain Christian as well. Ari, take us home and close
yeah, I
out.
mean, let's wrap her up right on that. 2 hours and 50 minutes. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Again, like the fact that the team is doing so poorly right now and we still have our shows go off like this. We love that for our view counts, but we also love that we can be a place where the fan base can gather and just have these conversations and vent together and commiserate and all that good stuff. So we will see what happens from here with the Seattle Sounders. They're in a situation right now where they're a wounded animal. Everyone is down on them. Everyone thinks that they can't do it. Everyone thinks that the GM's going to get voted out. Everyone thinks that the owner is broke. Everyone thinks that the DPs are bunk. No one thinks that Pedro de la Vega is coming back. No one thinks that there's any hope right now. So you know what? It is in their hands, though. It's in their hands. They have these games to play coming up. How are you going to respond? Are you going to lay down and die? Are you going to go down without a fight? Or are you going to respond? And at the very least, if you're going to go down, are you going to go down swinging? That's what I'm going to be looking for, because that's frankly what I want to see. If you are going to go down with a fight. But we're going to get out of here on that. Appreciate you all. Love you all. We'll be back at it Saturday for Philly. So we'll see you.
And the podcast on Friday.
And a podcast on Friday. Also, go check out our World Cup Awards podcast that we dropped yesterday. Yeah, so that's out now, where we go through and relive the World Cup if you want something to take your mind off this team. But on that, we're going to get out of here for the night. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Bye.